Saskatchewan Championship Curling is brought to you by Viterra, SaskTel, Saskatoon Auto Connection, Singler Real Estate, Coldwell Banker Signature, Boston Pizza Restaurants of Saskatchewan, SaskTel Max TV, Girl Sask, and Real Cast Media.
Daylight in Estevan. Just starting here our day. A long day here at the Viterra Scotties. We want to welcome you back for those who were watching last night, and welcome for the first time for those just joining us this morning for Draw 2 here, 2023 Viterra Scotties Provincial Curling Championship. We are at Affinity Place in Estevan, Saskatchewan. We've got 4 games on tap this morning, and some of these teams just hitting the ice for the first time. The other 4 all played last night. My name is Sean Joyce. I'm joined by Kim Hudson and Susan Lang. And quickly recap the games from last night. Sherry Anderson was an 8-7 winner over Madison Kleider. We'll have Anderson in our feature here this morning. Lorraine Schneider 8-4 over Cindy Ricci. It was the Ashley Howard team with a 7-4 victory over Jessica Mitchell. And our feature last night, Robin Silvernagel with a 6-2 win with her new team over Brooklyn Stevenson. And there you see the A event bracket in this 12-team field. The top 4 seeds were set ahead in the A event, so those 4 teams hitting the ice for the first time this morning. We will be featuring that game on sheet 3. It's Sherry Anderson against Amber Holland. I guess more of our veteran skips, if we want to if we want to be careful how we say that, I guess. The teams are just about set to get underway, and that means it's time for us to meet the teams in this morning's matchup.
Hi, I'm Skip Amber Holland. Our third is Kim Schneider. Our second is Carly Kendall. Our other second is Christina Herman. Our lead is Deb Lazinski, and we curl out of the Chrono Curling Club in Chrono.
I'm Skip Sherry Anderson. At third is Patty Hurstcorn. Brenda Gertson plays second. And at lead is Anita Silvernagel, and we curl out of the Newtown Curling Club in Saskatoon.
And the Meet the Teams has been brought to you by Singler Coldwell Signature Banker. We're going to have a fierce competition in this game at Second Stones.
Yes. Do they get one each?
Yeah. I was waiting to hear how you were going to say that, Sean, being a man, about the veteran skips. I'm happy with your choice of words.
Deb Lazinski puts her first shot into the top of the forefoot. Anita Silvernagel asked to remove the shot, rolls out, but allows Amber Holland team to put another rock in. I believe Amber called it in to start this first end. We had several references last night to the, I specifically remember one to the Wiley veteran skip, and that was thanks to the gentleman working with us, Nolan Cole, who works for the radio station here, who's doing some updates for us. Did a great job actually catching. We caught way more updates than we normally would because he was all over this building last night. He saw a lot of angles. And Nolan, thanks for being with us last night. If you're listening, we know he's off for a few days, off from us because he's on to Flin Flon. He's the voice of the Estevan Bruins. Has some hockey games to call.
Yeah, he did a fabulous job last night. Also entertaining, the different perspective.
So center guard from Deb Lazinski and biting the center line, so that means it cannot be removed off that center line until the 6th rock of the end, or at least removed by the opposition off that line.
I had no 4. Sorry, that was just a very kick. Very slow. Very slow.
Sweeper's nowhere near. I take it she might be a little bit heavy.
It's not enough. Well, here we go. Hi, Christina. Yep.
And it will slide all the way through the back. So a chance now for Amber to attempt to use that center guard. And Christina Herman has been she played for a couple of spiels with them, I guess. And as I understand it, talking to the team before the game, Carly Kendall injured an ankle and is not going to be available to play. Apparently she's healthy now. She could throw, but she hasn't played a game in about 2 months. So Christina is likely to be playing all of the games here. And I am interested to know, I didn't think to check with them. That's what I was talking about earlier. I don't know if there's any side bets for highest percentages at second stones here.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like with mother-daughter.
We got a bit of a family
head
affair
to head
happening.
here. Yeah, it's
Yep.
good time for a side bet. At the very least, there's bragging rights that I don't know whether they'll eat together after the game or not. Quick look at the matchups this afternoon. Pardon me, that's the other games here this morning. Pardon me. Ashley Howard's team, last rocks thrown there by Christine Ann McTaggart. Our feature matchup on sheet 3. And on sheet 4, it's Nancy Martin's team against Lorraine Schneider in a game where I'm not sure that the Skips throw last rock on either of those two teams. They're keeping us on our toes with the lineups this week. We've got Christina Herman playing in this game. We've got a few teams where the Vice actually throws the last 2 stones.
That's right.
We've got one team where the Vice throws second stones.
So higher the better. Okay.
Cindy Ricci's team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Please wait. Christina.
They're
Well,
asking
I
a
think-
lot to keep for us to keep that straight at 9 o'clock in the morning.
That is true. And I also think some of those switches weren't made at the start of the year, but happened mid-season. I guess the one I'm referring to is the Ashley Howard. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Where-
you'll
when
see
Carrie
that a
started
lot,
throwing.
not just at the
Yeah.
provincial level. You saw it at the national level too. If you've watched any of that curling over the course of the year, a lot of new teams formed for the new quadrennial, and so they're testing things out. They start with one lineup, and they may try a few different variations.
That's right.
As time goes along.
See what works.
Not quite able to get by the guard there. Just touches it, and still almost catches the red stone at the top of the 8. Slides by. Didn't move the guard very far either, so still protecting the stone at the back 12.
Somebody need that 35. Like, are we just going at 3 here or 12? Yeah. So close. So you right? Yeah.
Kim Schneider being asked to put a guard in play and looking to guard shot rock here. I don't know if she was looking to get maybe a sliver underneath that yellow one just so they can't play a run back.
I thought I threw good. I wasn't popping it at all. So.
Can't be too far under the yellow or you'll leave the stone at the top of the 8 exposed.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's room for
Line's
that.
pretty good. Maybe top
Maybe
12.
put an inch under and kind of Christmas tree them.
Curling more than I'm thinking. Top 12. It's deeper. Full 12. We're to it. No, we're on its own. Just stop.
Yeah.
It's coming
Needs
down.
to sit higher for line.
Yes.
Okay,
I think
Kim.
the curl is
Okay.
catching both teams a little bit by
Nice weight,
surprise
Ken.
there.
Good throw.
Curl
Almost fully
definitely more than they
exposed.
would have liked, but I don't think she's got room to get to the inside of that stone.
That's a little more icing.
Got some finish on that side. More than that inch. Yeah.
With that curl, it looks like Patty's asked to throw a little bit more weight than what the first shot was. Keep it a little bit straighter.
She could hit this just a little bit on the broom side. She could make the double on the one at the back.
Back one.
Oh, close.
And rolls just a little too far to be shot rock. It is second, but without last rock here in the first end.
10.
Amber not willing to leave that stone there.
No, that was critical to keep that shooter in play, even at second shot. Takes Amber away from that center guard rock.
Takes her away from it in the first end, but I think by about the 5th, she'd just ignore this and go around.
Yeah, I
Certainly,
agree.
and when you've got a 10-end game, that also plays into that versus an 8-end.
Well, does it factor in, do you think, as well, the fact that Anderson is the team that played last night? Amber Holland, this is her first time seeing the ice. She did have practice yesterday, but it's different. We heard it already on the guard where Amber's calling the line. This is curling more than I thought I was going to. Like, this is their first end of their first game.
Yeah.
It's not like she knows the ice inside out at this point.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Sean. The all your first 4 ranked teams, this is their first game. So, as you said, Anderson played last night. They have probably a little bit of a better handle on what's happening on the ice.
52. Line's good.
7.
Room.
7, 8.
Close. Stay close. It's starting to curl. Starting to curl.
8,
Brenda,
9.
you're rock.
Curling.
Chance for Patty Hirschhorn to make the come around, but they have not touched it, and the sweeper's indicating this is still a little deep.
Not as deep as what they were calling, though.
Boy, that sure did seem to slow down in a hurry when it hit the 12-foot. It comes to rest, top 4.
Yeah, 52. Good job.
Boy, if it's not fully buried, I guess it's not quite, but it's 3/4 to 7/8. Hard to go after it with any weight.
All Amber can do is play the freeze for now and make the rings a little smaller, or maybe she'll get a chance to use it with her next.
52. Okay, just do it. Alrighty. No.
It is curling quite nice at the end, so keep an eye on it.
What she said. That's what the conversation was.
15 1/4.
But again, a really good sweep judgment to keep that rock in the top 4-foot area. Tempting to get it to that button, but that would give Amber a lot more options on this shot. So staying there, she doesn't have enough room to get around that yellow and be buried. So as Sean said, probably best option is to come sit on top and try to shrink the rings for the next shot.
Oh, we don't have line for bump. There it goes.
Getting better.
Really good.
Getting better. Yep. Hard. Straight.
That's 2 rocks in a row where it sounds like the weight's really fooling them. They were calling back 4 on Patty's well, and that one they're calling T at the hog line yet, and it's nowhere near T.
Yeah.
It takes off there. That was good weight.
Yeah, I think
The weight seemed to come down as soon as it caught the curl.
It's curling if we're not on it before the break.
It's
Just stop, right? So bruise down, clean through the break.
Got it. It's really, you know it.
I did, yeah.
Just as Amber was saying.
You know,
Yeah, no.
unless it's super, like I was never heavy.
Anything in there.
Just keep it down to your inside.
Just said keep a broom down, clean through the break.
As it turns out, where Amber ended up, that rock not helping her at all. It's cut off any path she's got to get towards shot rock. Really didn't take any rings away from Sherry.
Well, and with the overcurl, it's not able to be angle raised on her next shot either. So you could have lived with coming into the top 12-foot if it had a little bit better position.
Line's pretty good. Where? 22. 8, 9. Okay. We're gonna go coming down though. Close. 8, 7. Yes. Go, Brenda. Go. Yes. Hard.
Boy, this one's really curling. I don't know if they're getting by the stone in the 12-foot.
Stay on it. Yes.
Well, it rubs off the stone that Amber had just thrown and got a little bit of a spin back at the end, but I think Amber Holland might still be able to get to the inside of that stone.
Yeah, I agree. I think she can. Again, it seemed that as soon as the rocks start curling and breaking, they definitely curl.
Pin down.
And again, they thought there was more weight than what ended up being. But I agree. I think she can get to the inside here.
Well, and if she ever stays just a little high, it jams on the stone on the back and her shooter stays open. This is a delicate little shot. But she does have room, I think, to get to the inside. She could remove this yellow, actually roll under cover, and we're back into possible steal or at least a force.
Yeah.
Momentum has shifted a couple of times here in this first end.
Yes, I think Amber quite happy to have a relatively open shot, even though she is looking at 2.
Little big for bump, 11.
This looks like, they were talking bumper. This looks like a lot of weight. Has to get to the inside. If she stays on the high side a little bit, it could jam. Kind of like that. Now, does it spin far enough? So she does have second and third. This will not be a shot for for 3.
It's them. He's from here. If we're going this way.
I was like, Kim, stop hard curling. I think we just go straight.
Sherry could elect to play the same draw, but I think given that it's a tight port to get through, she's just going to hit the stone that was just delivered.
Yeah,
well,
probably
and
just
saw
as easy.
Amber's shot too, so pretty good idea of with that weight where to put the broom.
I hit for 2. Okay.
Just a nice bump.
Yeah,
Okay.
just the rotation.
Yeah.
No.
That's it. So, but we didn't really have a brush down. I think we got it. Started to break.
Yeah.
So final stone here in the opening end of play. Sherry Anderson with a chance to pick up the deuce. Already sitting 1.
Bumper! Yeah!
Called the brush on right away.
Yeah, right out of the hand.
Clean!
She's a little on the inside. She's got a lot of room to roll.
Had it, girl.
Got it.
Good throw.
Makes the hit, stays right there. Does pick up her 2 points. Sherry Anderson with the 2 points here in the first end play jumps out to the early lead. Amber Holland had things going their way at the start of the end, didn't quite finish. Let's see if they can put together a better end in the second when they've got last rock.
Boston Pizza's legendary spicy pierogi pizza with cactus cut potatoes, bacon, cheddar cheese, and a dollop of sour cream. If that's still not pierogi enough for you, you could always fold it in half. The spicy pierogi, only at Boston Pizza.
At Viterra, we believe in the power of connection. Our world-leading agriculture network connects producers and consumers to supply top-quality food ingredients each and every day. Our team takes great pride in working closely with farmers to help feed the world. It's something we've been doing for over 100 years. And as an industry leader, we're dedicated to playing a critical role in meeting the needs of a growing world. Because together, we're stronger and achieve more.
Second end underway here. Center guard thrown to start the end, and important to note that center guard, in this case, not touching the center line, makes a bit of a difference to how they call these. She might tight ice it a little bit. Amber Holland asking Deb Blazinski to come around it.
Yeah, tight ice and
for whatever
maybe perhaps split it, get a couple corners.
Yep. We did see it last night, and of course I didn't have a chance to talk to teams about it afterwards. We were only speculating during the broadcast, but there were a few times when those guards were not on the center line, or pardon me, when they were on the center line, and they played the come around, and it looked like they took a little bit more generous ice than they would have in past seasons.
Right? Have a good release. You got it.
Yeah.
So now that rock has been ticked to the center line. So that means Amber can't remove it off that line until the 6th rock.
Line's good.
Yeah, it definitely does come into play. It changes things a little.
Yeah, even if it doesn't change the call a lot, it probably changes your mindset a little. We saw it kind of looked like players got caught. It's like, I can't be narrow because I can't touch that rock.
Yeah.
No thrower's ever going to admit I popped it a little on purpose, but it did look like that was happening a little bit. We see it with the time clocks at the end of the game as well. It just creeps into your head a little bit. Things have changed.
Yeah. Certainly looks like it's curling.
Well, look how that
morning.
one rocked right past the yellow center guard. If it wasn't for the red corner that was there, it would be just about wide open.
Yeah.
So it just got by the guard. They had to sweep it to make sure they got past, but it just kept on going.
Line's good. Are your rocks a little?
This one, if you
I
don't
got
need
an
it.
09 on that.
Wave's good. Great.
What'd you get, Brenda?
Line's good.
How much?
20.
Line's
Fine,
good.
top
Starting
end.
to curl
You gotta
now.
tell me
Back
that then.
4.
Because
Starting
I
to
thought
curl
it was
now.
like through
Heavy.
the house.
Heavy. Back 4.
And it curled.
like so, and I was not tight, and honestly, I
Room by the guard.
That's good. That's good.
I didn't see
Very
a
nice.
definite. Yeah. Okay, 3-4.
Hard to tell who's got shot rock there right now. There's a lot of rocks yet to come. Doesn't matter at this point in the end, but
If I was a betting person, I'd go with yellow.
Thanks.
But you're right.
well, I've seen
not
you
gonna
play
be
the
there.
VLTs, so that probably means it's red.
35, 33. Little heavy right now.
A lot of rocks left to come, though.
Yeah, I would wager at least one of those two stones
Yeah.
is going to get moved before it. Still, it's
7, 8.
whether it's shot or not. Deblazinski put that last one in an outstanding position.
It's coming down. There it goes.
Once it comes over that hog line,
It's no bounce.
it's not like it
no
puts
bounce.
the brakes on, but there's a definite slowing.
Well, when
Like
it
they were calling 7-8, meaning they thought it was going back 4 foot.
Here's the quick shoulder check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Time to hit something.
Yep. I think they just, once they catch that curl, they certainly curl and the weight comes off.
Okay.
Clean. It's good.
Okay, come on, Anita.
Just clean.
So Christina Herman looking to just straight peel the guard here. Shooter comes across, makes
fine.
contact with the corner. She's going to push it out of play. Don't know if you could have got a little bit more to the front end of that stone and perhaps pushed it into the rings, but wasn't the call anyway. It's the center guard they needed to move.
Okay, just over the line a bit. Yeah. What did you have at 25? Yeah. So probably 40.
For Brenda Gertzen,
Pretty good. I had 47.
call here. If
47.
they hated that center guard enough that they were going to peel it, we should maybe put it back.
Whoa. Do you want it there on its own? Whoa.
Curl?
Whoa. Can't sweep it. No, it'll be in. Whoa.
15.
It's in.
Perfect.
Good shot. I feel like this side's a little different than
Yeah, me too.
right now.
I think that's the line they were actually looking for. They wanted to curl a little bit more to protect that stone in the 4
Nice
foot.
pair, Brenda.
But there sounded like they were a little worried that it was, again, the sweepers thinking those rocks are a couple of feet deeper than they actually end up.
Your first one I had 33 and you were top, so Patty's was probably more.
It finished nice if you can
It is
leave
just
it,
the second draw of the event and the first morning draw. Last night when they were playing, of course, they'd had the practices through the day. The ice had been used a little bit. Might be a little bit different first thing in the morning.
It started, once it started to curl hard, it started coming down. Yeah.
Yep. That's fine. Okay.
Nice shot.
It certainly sounds like, from the discussions that we're hearing, that the rocks are dying coming in more than what they expected through their their practice sessions yesterday, and even for the Anderson team who played last night. It's catching them a little bit, and it's not like it's drastically different, but they're stopping a couple of feet short of what they think. So
Right.
that could just be a first draw of the day type thing.
10.
Morning draw.
10.
Yeah.
Anita's rock. Hard.
Switching to the offside sweep to get a little extra curl, gets enough to catch that red stone and keeps both the yellows in play. So it is Anderson sitting 3 right now.
Play the double and roll.
Nothing in the 4 foot area, no center guards, so there are some
9.5.
rocks on the corner to work with.
Yeah, and especially that one behind the tee line, behind the corners.
I thought she might just straight draw to it.
I was thinking that too.
I think this has to be a thing that comes down to, this is our second end of our first game.
Yeah.
Right.
Was it 10?
And there's a couple of options playing this hit and roll too. If you're a little thin, you can roll right into that stone.
Well, I think the double actually gets you
9-7, sorry.
a little bit close to the hit and roll over that way too.
Good. Nice throw, Kim.
It's the nose hit, so the shooter stays for 3rd.
But again, you were looking for 2 yellows to be moving on that shot,
Yeah.
but Sherry has to make a play on this.
Yeah, it's not like Sherry's in a spot here where she's got nothing set up to play for the steal, so ignoring red rocks in the rings is just a recipe for giving up multiples. She can't really roll back to the center line on this one either, or she'd jam on her own. So she's going to look to hit and stay right there. And it'll be interesting to see what Amber does after this, because now with this rock a little bit higher in the house, even if you made the double in the roll, you're still going to be second shot. I think she's drawing now.
There we go.
Let's do it. I like it.
Was that first one a little strong?
Okay.
No. I knew I slid wide, but Anita said I was heavy,
so
but
inside
I
out?
felt okay. Maybe just up a bit. Okay, that was, yeah, I felt like, just hang on and feed it back a little. That wasn't quite that bad.
Well, this will be interesting to see if the weight comes off in the rings as we're going off to the side as compared to these shots that have all been coming into the middle. So real challenge here for these sweepers to get the weight judge.
Right to it.
Okay. Still needs to move a bit.
Take a little bounce now.
We're back not 8. To it for a bounce. Back 8. Come on. Okay,
Sure trying.
Okay.
Well, they had the weight call right on that one. They're calling back 8. That's what it was.
18, I got
Just rubs off that stone a little bit. It is shot rock, corner of the forefoot, so Sherry Anderson will have to make a play on it.
Well, hers didn't go
And
too crazy.
the interesting part, if Sherry makes a nose hit, all it does is set up a bigger wall there for Amber to aim for. So she'll likely want to roll her shooter over a little bit to the other side of the center line.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Keep Amber away from going in behind that corner guard again.
Even just a split center would be good, but you're right, you can't sit right there.
Yeah.
Called the brush on right away. Sherry might have felt she was a little inside on this. Wants to stay a little bit on the broom side.
You got it.
Brushers have been on this the whole way. She actually crosses it a little bit, rolls towards the other stone, sits 4 for the time being, but that actually does make that little bit wider pocket now for Amber for her last one. We've got our
It was a 9-8.
first update here this morning as well,
One of those.
right next door. Nancy Martin already trailing by 2, and with her final stone facing
It looks like
a
4.
lemon tree.
Yeah.
Looks like 4, and it looks like it slid through the back.
Yeah.
So that looks like it was a steal of 4 there for Lorraine Schneider. That would give her a 6-0 lead after 2 ends of play there.
Coming this way? Same.
Well, Nancy coming in as the number 2 seed. That's her first game. And second end of her first game here. Looks like didn't need to learn the ice a little bit.
T-line. Hey, room right now.
T-line.
We're back 8. Just cleaning.
Back 8.
Little heavy, Sherry.
Slow down.
Amber Holland needing to get to the pocket, and this is going to have to curl.
And slow down.
Okay. Keep going.
It slides far enough to the back that it is 4th shot.
Maybe a little extra. Hey? Yeah. Just at the end there. Good.
Yeah, Sherry's team looking now where they can put this. You know, Amber's got to draw somewhere to the forefoot. You throw it top 8, make her navigate to port as well.
We're on the same page.
You just don't want to come into the top 4 or button and give her the hit.
Quick, yeah.
And as we said last night, and I'm sure it's just as, or even more so this morning, it's quick. This ice is fast with a great sliding surface.
But it did seem like those draws off to the wings going in behind a corner guard didn't stop as quickly as they were coming into the centers. So,
which we usually see later in a game, not in the first or second or third end.
Right, so it's a challenge getting the weight down early.
Short. Gotta go. Hard 2, 2, 3.
Sherry making sure she wasn't
It looks like you're
Heavy.
Here.
yeah.
Hard.
Tolerance, as they say, would be a little bit short.
Hard. Easy,
Although it seems to be sliding for what they said.
Did I hear two?
Yep, yep, yep.
Now, I don't know, is that a case of they just totally misjudged the weight on that one, or is that we said two so that we look like really powerful sweepers?
Yes, yeah, there we go.
It's the power.
Pardon?
Yeah,
As they just said, it's the power.
It didn't ever look like a two to me.
Curled a little bit farther than what they had in mind. Certainly takes away the shot that Amber just threw, so she's got to throw a different path now.
Yeah.
They were looking to be maybe just across center, and it would have made the choice interesting for Amber. She has to go wide to play by it, or if she plays the same shot she attempted on her first one, she's in danger of rubbing on the stone that Sherry had just thrown.
Well, and this is the path that has fooled a lot of the sweepers, both teams. As you go out this little bit wider, it's stopping a little bit sooner as it catches the big curl.
Boy, and it's not just a question of the weight here. Even if they get this to the rings, I'm not sure they're getting by the one that Sherry just threw. And this is going to come up short of the rings. It is a steal of 4.
4 yellow.
And Sherry Anderson with 2 in the first one, steal of 4 in the second. Got a couple of games with that same recipe so far this morning. Sherry Anderson 6-0 lead after 2 ends of play. Amber Holland will have last rock one more time in the third.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel, because we're everywhere, keeping you connected to your family and friends, to your history and culture, to those traditions that make us who we are. SaskTel cares, always has, always will, because we're dedicated to our home.
Hi, this is Dustin Keltoff with Saskatoon Auto Connection. When I'm not working hard on my curling delivery, I'm working hard on making Auto Connection the best auto service center possible. I started our service center in 2018 because it's hard to find an auto service shop you can trust. At Auto Connection, our core values are honesty, integrity, and transparency. We're happy to text you photos or videos of your car's problems to help you make better, more educated decisions. Saskatoon Auto Connection, the mechanics you can trust.
Well, Amber Holland drawing against 4 with her last one, just needed a piece of the forefoot, but over-adjusted really after sliding a little bit deep on the first one and then throwing a different path on her second one. You talked about it, Susan. It's fooled the sweepers a little bit. It seems to come down more in that center line. She pulled the weight back because she was heavy on the first one, and the combination, they come up short of the rings. It's a steal of 4 for Sherry Anderson, and now the Holland team has a lot of work to do to climb back into this one. I guess if you're going to be 6 down, the benefit is there's still 8 ends to play.
That's right. That's what you tell yourself.
It's pretty hard to play 8 ends of defense in the 5-rock free guard zone.
Well, that's just it. If you can come back, get that 2-ender, get something going the next end, possible steal, but even just give the single back and just keep chiseling away.
As you say, get 2, force them to 1, get 2, force them to 1. With 8 ends, that math does work.
Not entirely. At some point in time, you're going to have to do something other than a 2 and a force.
Yeah, just such a.
These aren't 14-end games anymore.
I was trying to do it in my head, but I was a shot short.
But having said that,
That was a way
we
to
say
release.
get 2, force 1. 3 points happens a lot in the 5-rock free guard zone.
So coach and the other second.
And a tiger.
And a tiger looking on. That's Travis Brown, Carly Kendall for the Holland team.
I was talking to the team before the event started, and I did hear what they were telling me is Carly, and I don't know the nature of the injury. I don't know that they even necessarily got it diagnosed. Carly had an ankle injury in the fall, so Christina did play a couple of events with them. Carly is throwing rocks again now, apparently. I don't know if she's tried to sweep or anything yet, but they said she hasn't played a game since probably sometime in November, and she wasn't comfortable. Yeah. Go figure, she's not comfortable throwing her first game in 2 months at the provincials.
48, 40.
Wide, guys.
Running a bit.
Patty's rock.
Although I bet she sure would want to. It's sure hard to sit back there and watch when...
Well, she's probably happy to be sitting back watching now.
Yeah, it'll be up to a 7.
It's 7 for sure.
Does raise an interesting question, though. If things continue to go poorly and you've got a player that hasn't played in a couple of months, is this a game where you might try to get her in for a couple of ends later on? They're not thinking about that right now. They're thinking about trying to get 2 or 3 and stay in this game.
Yeah, that's it.
They definitely have rocks to work with here in this third end. 2 corners already. And the setup in the center, not bad for them. They can see shot rock.
Still strong.
And the one behind the tee line helps them as well.
Yeah, it's above the tee.
If she's a hair on the outside here, she might make the double. If she can get across the face, though, there's room to roll under the guard. I think there's room to get far enough under the roll all the way behind the corners.
Firm.
Maybe a little more weight than what they had in mind. This has got a curl to get the roll.
That's 11.5. Okay, that's fine.
Jams it onto the stone at the back and at least spins it out from behind the guard as well. So it is the Holland stone top 8-foot sitting shot rock. It's in the open.
Well, Sherry's team can get the roll and not jam as well. Looking for the roll to center.
Yeah, I was sliding out now.
Bumper up! Bumper!
Patty! Patty!
Sweeping for the curl.
Whoa, straight!
Whoa!
Yeah.
Patty!
Shot. Good shot.
That certainly doesn't hurt them any. They're probably happy with that.
There was
Sorry.
that's as much panic as you're ever going to hear in a sweep call from Sherry Anderson as she realized there's a chance we could jam this. So you heard her switch the sweep call over.
I don't know. I've heard some panic sweep calls from her.
Who was throwing those rocks?
Probably me.
Like good.
Yeah, it was good.
It would have just bounced.
So gained scoreboard shot here instead of hitting that open one. If the game was a lot closer, going around a lot sooner around this corner guard than what we've seen in the first 2 ends.
Well, and really, she actually, given the score, might want to keep that rock there. It's that kind of rock you could use it to come in off of your last one for maybe some extra points.
Or a couple more nudges and, oh, there we go, that little misdirection.
That's a sneaky way to get a rock buried. That's going to spin back towards the open at the end, though.
I think it's open.
On that.
She ticked the
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, nice bumper.
Looks like she's going to see just all of it. She's going to need a little finish after the guard to get underneath cover.
But it's one of those when you're trying to scrape your way back into a game. If that shooter had just hit a little bit more of that front rock, would have set it up for a little bit better split position potentially later on in the end. So when you're scrambling like that, the little things just sometimes don't even go your way.
We're on the sweep right away on this one. She's got to get by the guard. Once she's by, they'll call the sweep off, try to get that last little bit of finish. So it looked like really that one maybe was a little bit tight because it sure didn't look like she got the finish there. She's half under.
Back line.
I mean, a little full and kind of fed back. Just a little feed.
Back line, here we go.
Just not quite. I'm drifting a wee bit on that turn right
ya?
now. I just got to get my foot under me, I think.
Yeah.
So listening
Like
to what
not bad.
Patty's saying. She's saying
But I can just feel it.
what she means by fed back, she means fed back towards the broom. She slid a little full and then
Like Brenda.
kind of crossfired a little bit. So they did have the panic sweep call,
Good.
but
Back line. Clean.
got it by the guard and kind of stopped curling at that point. She didn't get all the way under.
But again,
does
too,
leave room here for Amber Holland to make a play at it.
just back to Patty, a veteran curler knows what the correction is. She knew what she did on that throw. We heard her say she's got to get her foot more under her because that's what caused her to drift off to her left and have to feed it back. So again, so critical to know your slide and how to correct on the next one. So we'll see if if Patty gets her foot more under the center of her body here. We're all watching Patty.
They're changing the shot call here. It was interesting that Amber Holland was trying to stay under the center, and Sherry Anderson here taking what to me looks like the more natural approach to this roll behind the corner because you can only see half of it. So a little bit more weight here from Patty. And again, they're going to have to go to get by the center guard. I don't know if they're getting by this time. Just a paper-thin rub.
And that was with nice firm weight too.
Yeah, they weren't playing the quiet attempt that time. They were trying to roll actually behind the corners, just make sure they were sitting two.
Well, there's a bit of a slight break that Amber's looking for.
Right, because if you're not going to get the red rock, then, get rid of the guard. But just with that feather tick leaves Amber a little bit of something more to work with.
First one I kind of slid a bit wide and fed it back a little bit.
Yeah, I think if you're in a perfect world here, I don't think you even need to get second shot. If you can be full 12 foot. With the Christmas tree that we always talk about, you want to leave this in a spot where there's some danger for Sherry Anderson going after shot rock, that if she hits this one, she jams it onto the yellow.
Onto the back yellow.
And if you get too tight, the jam's just not a possibility. It would go through the port.
Curl and go. Curl and go.
Curl, curl, curl. Go, go, go. Go, go, go.
Okay. No, it's not.
They get the Christmas tree, but that's what we were just talking about. If she happens to clip the top one of the two right now, it just goes between the red and the yellow and out the back.
Anyway, get rid of one.
Sure, kind of wait.
Well, I like that bump.
We can't see enough.
Which is exactly the call. Playing the top one with bumper weight, just rolling away.
Feeling for the weight then, because I got a 15 on that.
Yeah, if they just bump, try to get rid of that top rock.
Okay. Are you picking then what you picked in practice?
Yes, I would say this.
So it sounds like Sherry's content to go after the top one. Boy, to my eye, it looks like the other one's easier. She can see a little bit more of it. It's tough to hold the shooter on either of them.
Well, I was just thinking when she said throwing bumper, she's got to make some good contact on that top one, hit a fair bit of it to remove it.
Good bumper. Bumper up. Bumper up. Yes.
And again, on the sweep right away.
Getting this center line really early.
Ooh, good
Great
sweeping.
job on the brushers to get by, and gets by it tight enough to actually move both of the reds. Just gets the one out, but now pops the second one further out from behind the guard.
It got by the amount that Patty Hersticorn bumped it over on her first shot. If Patty hadn't touched that one, then Sherry was going to be all that. So
what do you say? You want to give Patty an extra point on her last shot?
Exactly, because she set up
that was,
Sherry for success.
She made her skip look good.
We didn't know that was a setup shot.
Yeah, you just need to put pressure on because as soon as you lift your broom, that crabs, right? So you actually want to make it like you're here. All you want to do is just turn this backhand so that it goes this. Yes. When you're going by a rock.
15.
Yes.
Because yesterday 15 was...
Because you really don't want to, like when you lift, it's just then it just...
We had a couple like 15.
15. Okay, good. So that's what I'm thinking.
So for Amber Holland here, really the key is to get in behind cover. The shot rock is going to be exposed anyway. I don't think there's any way she can Christmas tree these.
No, I think there's too much space. Just playing the straight come around. Without setting up a double either way.
Yeah, top four is good even if you bite a corner of the button, but you've got to be buried.
Yeah.
You know Sherry Anderson's going to have a an attempt to hit the back one.
Good.
Pushers had to go on that a little bit just to make sure it got in for second. It does leave room for Sherry Anderson to make the hit and perhaps roll under the center guards. While she makes her way down to the hacks, we've got an update in the other 6-0 game. Nancy Martin facing one. It looks like she's got second. I'm not sure if they're trying to play enough weight to...
I think she was trying to raise her 12-foot one.
I think she was trying to place red on to maybe just touch the yellow. It over curls by quite a bit, though, and it's another steal of one. Lorraine Schneider out to a 7-0 lead there.
Yeah, and sweepable weight versus Kim on its own.
Yeah.
Similar story here in our feature game. Sherry Anderson has had all the pressure on Amber Holland so far, and another chance if she can make the hit and roll undercover with her last one.
Hard, Anita.
This is going to have to curl, though, to get the roll underneath.
Hard, you got it, hard. Okay.
Sweeping from the offside.
All right.
She gets the hit, rolls maybe an inch or two, but still stays out in the open, and Amber Holland will have a chance to pick up her deuce here.
Okay. That's still strong.
Needs to make the hit.
10-9. A little less than your first
Hit and
one.
stay somewhere around the 4-foot.
She's got a little bit of room to roll, but
I guess so. Yeah, I don't
it's a
know.
good look at it from the hack end. She's actually got a little bit of air on both sides, so
Who knows, Al?
she could afford a slight over curl.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, we do. Yeah.
These shots are so big when you're trailing early. This is the stop the bleeding, get feeling a little bit better about yourselves, and then see if you can turn the momentum around after
That's
this.
right. Confidence building.
11-5.
You're doing just perfectly. Because they're going around. We might as well beat them there.
Looking for a little bit of curl.
Try.
Coming from the hog line in, makes the hit, stays right there. Amber Holland will pick up her deuce here in the third end of play. She's on the board finally. Still trailing by a score of 6-2. It'll be Amber Holland without last rock, Sherry Anderson with the hammer in 4, and we'll see just how hard the Holland team goes for the steal in the fourth when we come back.
Hi, this is Dustin Keltoff with Saskatoon Auto Connection. When I'm not working hard on my curling delivery, I'm working hard on making Auto Connection the best auto service center possible. I started our service center in 2018 because it's hard to find an auto service shop you can trust. At Auto Connection, our core values are honesty, integrity, and transparency. We're happy to text you photos or videos of your car's problems to help you make better, more educated decisions. Saskatoon Auto Connection, the mechanics you can trust.
January at Boston Pizza, every day is Pasta Tuesday. That means BP's famous pastas start at just $10.99 every single day. Create your own or go gourmet for just a few bucks more. Come on in for Pasta Tuesday pricing any day. Only this January at Boston Pizza.
Well, for us, it's why we play. We're old school, even though maybe we have a younger one on the team. But this is why we play. This is what it was always for. Representing your province. It's going to be pretty laid back for us because there's no pressure on us. I mean, we're the old girls in town, so bring it on. We'll try to play our best and give some teams some good games and get some good competition out of it.
Sherry went out on a limb with that pose, didn't she?
Certainly giving the Holland team a good game here this morning. They've jumped out to the early 6-2 lead with last rock as we begin play here in the fourth end. The Holland team with the center guard. And that's one where it's hard to tell whether that's touching the center line or not.
Well, the Holland team, I think what they can take away from that third end is that they played a very good end. They got a crucial miss out of the Anderson team that end, and they made them pay for it. So that's certainly the best end that they've played in their first three, and if they can keep building from that, this score is going to get closer.
Okay, line's good. Go 1, 2, we're top 12. Top 12. Top 8. Yeah. Okay. Curl and go here. We're almost there. We're almost on our own. Okay, can you curl though? Yeah. If you want me to, yeah. Coming down. Whoa. Yeah, keep going, Kim. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going to the line.
There's another one that we see the sweepers get caught, and we saw that a few times earlier in the game. They thought that was a lot deeper than it was, and they end up sweeping it for a bite.
You got it.
Sorry, Dad.
I'm like, whoa.
That's one, if they had known it was going to stop that short, they could have just left it alone.
Yeah, but
As it turns out, though, that first rock, the first guard, and again, it's tough to tell, but I think it's touching the center line. So Sherry Anderson not going to make a play on the tight one. Going to look to just come around those two guards.
5, 6.
Brushers were on early for weight. I think I've heard the line call as well.
Whoa, we're 4. No, we're 6. No, I meant 4 foot. Sorry.
Brings the stone in to bite the top of the 4 foot. It is shot rock, and it is buried.
You can't go off for time, so they seem to be. Yeah. Good shot. Nice weight.
Christina Herman, who I believe in the player intros was introduced as the other second.
Yes.
Line's good. Waist really close. Okay, small bounce right now. Okay, waist really good. I'm not on a line for bounce. Small bounce. It's just to it.
A little bit heavy, I think.
Lots of room by the guard. Comes down, bumps that stone just a little bit, and I think rolled enough that there's room to make a play on it.
That's right, that little roll out with that curl, it's a lot more exposed than what it looks.
And that was not just the figurative look over the shoulder. Sherry Anderson actually just looked over the shoulder and counted rocks. Said, yeah, that's 5. We can hit.
Yep. Whoa.
Well, good recovery, as Sherry said. A little bit of wiggly coming down out of the hack.
Good job.
Got the job done.
There you go. You got it. Nice slow kick.
So Amber Holland asking Christina to put a center guard back. They're on the sweep early here. Didn't hear a line call. It usually indicates it's weight.
That's good, Kim.
Yeah, that is a long guard.
You got it. Same thing, nice press. Right at her.
Again, though, gets a job done. Still have to peel.
Well, actually, the long guard there is kind of beneficial for Amber because it's a long running double to catch that rock on the top 12 foot.
Another nice peel.
Okay. Same.
I think we'll see this a few times.
Yeah, we talk about timing in the broadcast from time to time about how it's a matter of when you come in, but in this particular end, and again, because Amber Holland down perhaps wants to set up a steal, the other issue that comes in, it's not just when do you go, what do you do right now? Like it's that Yellowstone at the top of the 4 foot's in a pretty good spot for Sherry Anderson. It's tough for Amber to deal with it in a way that really helps her. She can probably get a force out of this end.
Line's good.
which would still be an okay outcome. As long as it's not 2 points for Anderson is what
As long as
Amber's
it's not
thinking.
But I'll tell you
a
what,
force
when
of
she's,
two.
when she's standing
Yeah.
at the back while the Anderson's team's shooting, she's standing back there thinking, okay, how do I turn this into a steal opportunity?
Mm-hmm.
She does have rocks in the center of the house. It's just, how do you deal with that yellow one? And that's going to make it a little trickier still. I'm not sure that one cleared the hog.
Guess we're going to see. That's going to make it even harder.
It certainly didn't look like it from the camera angle, but of course the camera angle is over the button, and you need to be directly over top of that rock.
But I liked her extension. I didn't think I needed to pound it, but apparently I should have been.
Bumper.
Sweepers continuing to be fooled by the weight, especially in the middle.
Yeah.
And yet we've seen a couple of draws towards the wings that just slid forever, which is more like what we expect
Later in a game.
certainly later in the game for sure, yeah.
Kind of missing the whole point of having guards up to help steal.
Is that strong?
They were actually, that hard sweep was from the offside, trying to get just a little more curl. They rubbed the Yellowstone, but still leave it behind the red. So it's Anderson sitting 2.
Yeah, not a great double chance. So I like Amber's call here.
Let her know to wait.
She's got pretty skinny, so you could see what Amber was thinking. You know, you don't like those 2 yellow rocks, but it's not a double where, or it's just a little tick-bang double. Very tricky.
Well, even if you made the double, now you're probably looking at a blank, and that's not a good result for her either.
Yeah, given the score, I'm not sure a double is
beneficial. So
yeah,
great call by Amber. Gutsy call. I mean, it's nerve-wracking when you're trying to force the issue.
Line's great. Yeah, line. Hard line. Hard for line.
Take and roll off.
It's just going to barely get there. Certainly don't want to leave a stagger. So at least she has 2 red rocks to work with.
I think so.
Rolled off just enough to be able to use that top 12-foot if needed.
Tough for Sherry Anderson to play a double on the red. She's going to jam one of them.
Yeah,
that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
You want to go the same way?
I think
Well,
so.
you certainly can't leave them.
If you could hit the one on the center line first, but hit about half rock, you drive it by everything, and then you come more into the side of that second one, you might be able to push it out of the rings.
Yeah.
Because I thought, what'd you get on the reverse one?
Patty Hersicorn,
Because I got like a 53.
you can see that back foot drifting way out, so she's still struggling with a little bit of a drift to her left. Catches them at close to the same time, still enough to get the red out over the top and leaves the yellow.
But leaves it as a center guard, though, so Amber's got some possibilities here. Risky, but I think she's going to have to
When you're down
do
Scoreboard
something.
committed here, really.
Yeah.
And not just the scoreboard, she really can't do much with the stone at the top of the 4-foot, so you make a pass at the one on the back.
I'm not sure what you mean by a pass. Do you mean a freeze?
Well, if she's going to get underneath, she's going to have to throw more than a freeze.
I think she's just playing the freeze, though.
What I just gave you was there. Yeah.
So we're going way out there. Because we aren't going to get to sell, right? So
My fear is it's going to run out there,
we
though.
haven't been this far out before.
I think it's still going to come off.
That might be faster.
Right?
I'm still not sure she's just playing the freeze, though. I think she's playing to chisel.
Okay.
Little less, Kim, I think.
Hard to make a freeze so good that Sherry Anderson can't blast it out of the 4-foot, and then you still can't deal with the stone at the top of the 4.
So we're out farther. 2 ends ago.
Yeah.
Well, we certainly know that Sherry can throw the upweight as well as anyone.
So again, what they were discussing is, oh, here we go, the look in
Just do it.
on the Ashley Howard game. Looks like Ashley's facing 2 Penny Barker stones, only removes 1, and that will tie that game up 2-2 in that A quarterfinal game.
Hey, girl.
I always like it when they play the shot that I said, not yours.
Yeah, she left it so she could blast it out. If she'd have had that line with 2 feet more weight, she's buried. It's just so hard to play a freeze like that in a spot where Sherry Anderson can't get it out.
Well, I liked it for T-line, but Kittens came down. I think this spot is heavier.
But back to the point that she did play the shot I was calling.
Did she? Because there's 3 of them are talking about why did it stop there. I think she's got the line she wanted in 2 feet light. While Sherry Anderson getting set to throw hers, we've got another update.
Well, every time we look, there are a lot of yellows in play, but it looks like there's a red shot rock in there. And a tap up for 2. And Nancy Martin gets on the board. 2 points, 7-2 for Lorraine Schneider.
Yeah, I threw it hard.
Sherry Anderson with the hit, kills both stones, loses the shooter as well.
Yeah, but Amber would breathe a little sigh of relief on that. This draw isn't, looking at 2. She still has a very tough shot to make, but that rock had hung on as a back biter. That's a potential 3-ender in play.
Yeah, she was a little, just around there. And I thought it might shine a little, but because we did, no, we had room. Well, not the end of the world. We did create a bit of
The thinking time, used for the last few years in championship play. Lots of time for both teams right now, and really, even when you're down, not a lot to think about here for Amber Holland. We need rocks in play. She's got a couple to work with, albeit she's got to draw around a stone at the top of the forefoot to get shot rock here.
This is where they're anticipating where it's going to catch the big curl and start slowing down, but now it looks like,
Got to get by the stone at the top of the floor, though, and going to rub off. Does spin back a little bit at the end, so she's got shot rock, and she's at least a piece under cover.
I'd say
not a big piece.
Yeah, can't see the majority of it, so.
But
enough to put the guard in her eye, though.
And Sherry has to play it. She wants to keep her shooter, so she doesn't want to overthrow it and only get the single. So adds a little half degree of difficulty to the shot here.
I can't really even hear Kim if it's lying.
Just what?
Deb was
okay. Deb was.
But Amber was anticipating that curl, and she saw it, but they just missed the sweep there by about 1 second.
So Sherry Anderson, final stone here in the fourth end. 6-2 lead. He's got second shot, has to make a play on shot stone. By the front one.
Yes, she is.
Makes the hit. Quiet weight, but enough to push it through to the back 12. And that's enough for Sherry Anderson to pick up her deuce here in the fourth end of play. She restores the 6-point lead over Amber Holland. It'll be 8-2 as we go into the fifth end of play, and Amber Holland will have last rock one more time when we come back.
At Viterra, we believe in the power of connection. Our world-leading agriculture network connects producers and consumers to supply top-quality food ingredients each and every day. Our team takes great pride in working closely with farmers to help feed the world. It's something we've been doing for over 100 years. And as an industry leader, we're dedicated to playing a critical role in meeting the needs of a growing world. Because together, we're stronger and achieve more.
Fifth end underway here. Sherry Anderson. I was going to say it looks like she's got lunch plans, but actually all the teams have lunch plans. The luncheon will be at noon here in Estevan. Playing this game like they got somewhere to go.
I get her pretzel. I don't know if you're locked.
Well, and given the score, you see the Anderson team putting it at top 4.
Well, it's a good weight. We had 10.
Weight was good.
It was a 10.
Oh.
So we said your times are a little
different
for us.
Yeah.
But we got it
nice
now.
Deb. We got it. We're on it.
Same thing.
Nice one.
Nice corner guard.
Less ice than what she just gave me.
Last for a little more then.
Is that a little less?
Well, and a very nice first rock from Anita Silvernagel, puts that extra pressure right back on the Holland team trying to set up their corner guards. It's always more difficult when your opposition is sitting top 4 foot like that.
I got to say, the crowd looks younger than the curlers this morning.
I love seeing the school kids in here. They noticed they were on the Jumbotron as well. Did a little wave.
You got it, guys. We don't nozzle not over curl here.
That's good. That's good.
Lined up nicely.
Protects the back stone now, of course, with Amber Holland trailing, needed to generate some offense. She's probably not going to look at making a play there, but we've talked about that no-tick zone before, and that's the first time I've seen. Here comes another interesting question. You've got a logo right there. How do you tell if that's touching the center line?
And I was thinking the exact same thing.
More line.
Yeah.
Nice pair, Nita.
Yeah. Good sweep.
That's good.
It's like every other new rule that's come in, the no guard, the free guard zone as well. It took a while for everybody to get used to it. A lot of these teams have not played very much with the no-tick yet at all. In fact, there might be a few of them. Robin Silvernagel, for instance, with a team that just threw together 4 playdowns. They've played about 5 games under this rule now. It's going to take some time for everybody to get used to the differences.
I got a 38.
I got a 38 with an
4,
add.
4, 5, 5. Close, Sam. Yep. 5, 5, 6. Line only. Close. Yep. Line. Hard line. Hard, guys. Hard. Oh, I kicked it.
Oh, burned it. Oh, we saw burnt rock last night also, so second time that it's easy to do, it's simple to do, but again, self-declared. It's the nice part about this sport.
That weight was pretty good.
Yeah, I think your weight was good, actually, Brenda.
You can play the run.
What was it?
I had a
You can just try to do that. I don't know if you're getting on.
Okay.
Okay.
Tough one.
Okay, or just here. Probably the run. Nose. Up.
Got a little too close.
Actually, 9. That's what you threw a couple ends ago.
I was kind of looking up.
Yeah,
for the
see,
line.
that's what happens.
You were throwing
So looking to play the run back on the guard, deal with that one at the top of the 4 foot now. And probably not the most important thing to kill a stone in the rings. It's probably important to keep the shooter in play here. You heard her say, I don't know that you can get on. I don't think she can make the rings, but you'd hate to roll out of play and miss the stone at the top of the 4 foot. There you go. She made contact with that stone, rolls it over to the 12 foot.
which is great.
Around on the side.
She doesn't mind leaving it in the rings. It was more important that she keeps her shooter in play. She needs some rocks up front to deal with while she tries to generate some extra points here.
That's right.
Like, am I
Sherry
even
Anderson
eligible player
lining these up to
sometimes?
see how she can remove
Oh, yeah.
2 corner guards at
Not
one
just
time.
ice and skip? Oh,
Can't
okay.
get rid of all 3 of them.
No, but you can get rid of 2 and roll away. Called early.
She's looking to drive this one across the top of the one behind it. She drives it. It's not the side she wanted to hit. And it spins all the way across the house, touches the yellow, and with all that spin, enough to still carry out a play. Shooter stays up front, though, so still 2 guards for Amber Holland to work with. She's going to come around her own stone first.
Good job.
Just sliding a hair tight on
Oh, yeah? Yeah, and there's not much ice, so there's hardly any.
No.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm setting them or, dumping them, just sliding a hair a little bit.
Line's pretty good. Top 8. Leading 8, clean.
Top 8, fight 4.
Starting to curl now. Line's great. Go you.
Still
Top
there,
8,
still running.
Top 4.
Full
Top
4.
8's great.
Full 4 T.
Nice.
Very nice.
There you go.
Straight peel.
15-2.
I said 14.
Sometimes it can be a really simple game,
Nice. Good shot.
and sometimes not so much.
Till someone hits a rock just that 7/8 of a hit where you drive it by and don't roll off. Tell you what, if she makes the peel here, I'll complicate it for you. And I got to do it real quick, so you have to make a call before Amber does. Do you throw another guard, or do you throw around something else? And I think with that one rolling where it did, probably see Amber play the freeze.
Freeze to the back, yellow.
She's got a little bit of cover from that stone that just rolled over to the corner. Had you just straight peeled out there, the only other guard you got to work with, if you come around it, there's a chance you're leaving a double because they're going to be close together.
I think you throw one more, had it not rolled where it did, I think you throw one more guard.
She's in a good spot here to at least get her deuce, but again, in the back of her mind somewhere, she's got to be thinking about at some point in time, we got to try to score 3. So this actually is their chance to bring 3 into play. If you make the freeze good here, Sherry Anderson will make a play on the open stone. You play that, roll behind the corner on the other side. Now you got 2 rocks in the rings that are hard to remove.
Little tap. Bump in. We're not to line for tap.
No, so this is where it slides nicely, a little more than what everybody expects.
Is it heavy?
Okay.
Yeah. Should be through then.
And right through the back.
It might have at the very back. No, I think it's through the house. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
Well, they aren't thinking about 3 anymore.
Nose is okay,
Yeah.
I think that's not bad.
Okay, good try.
Nose are there, probably is better.
10?
Sherry Anderson now suddenly thinking about the force. Would like to keep the play away from that corner guard. That's probably Amber's best chance. You'll see her try to get something around it on the next stone. You want to put this rock, you could roll to split center. It's a tough one for Amber to ignore.
10? 10-5, even 10? It's a 10. Whoa! Whoa! Yes, roll it a little bit. Okay, good
Makes the hit, maybe rolls an
like
inch
that.
or 2 towards center.
God, those look so smooth. We wanted a nose, right?
All right.
This is one of those ones, if it's earlier in the end, you'd probably ignore that and straight draw, but it's getting to the point where if you're going to try to get 2, you've only got 3 rocks left, and you're going to have to deal with that one eventually. So she's going to play the hit
Do
and
it
roll.
now. Yep.
Brenda just... Yeah, she thought she was sliding tight. She thought she slid tight.
Little firm.
Firm. Close. Clean.
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 11-5.
Kim Schneider looking to roll behind cover. This is going to need to finish a little bit.
Yeah, I got 10-6.
Okay.
little bit more weight than what they had in mind, I think. Makes the hit, stays right there, but it's still out in the open.
Yeah.
What kind of weight?
Sherry Anderson can make a play on it. Now, though, the difference is if she rolls to the center line, she's still just 12 foot. And I think you will see Amber Holland draw around that corner guard.
Using it as a guard.
Okay.
Well, that was, with it being that one rock deeper on the last one, had Amber ignored it and drew behind the corner, I'm not sure she could have got shot rock, so she was going to have to deal with that eventually. At least with the exchange of stones, and that's what we expect is going to happen here. She could at least draw around that corner guard and be shot rock. So there's still a chance to set up the skip's deuce.
You can't hurt. Exactly. Yeah, you're not sinking it to the top height.
10. 10. Yep. Hard. Yep. Hard. Really hard. Hard. Okay, well
10-4.
Sherry Anderson makes the hit, actually rolls a little bit towards the corner, so that'll act as a second corner guard.
Yeah, really.
over the top of it, yeah.
Can go either way.
It does make it trickier, though, for Amber. She's got to find the path to get around a rock that's now in the top of the 12-foot. While they try to decide where to put the broom for that, we've got another update for you.
Maybe a little less than what you wanted to go. Not bad.
Skylar Ackerman with her last stone appears to be facing 2 silver nagel counters, already trailing by 2, just needs to be full 12, and that rock comes to rest the back of the 8-foot. She will pick up a single point there. It'll be Robin Silvernagel with a 4-3 lead as that game goes into the break.
So she's probably well. Yep. Yes, if we'd have staged. If we'd have rolled that, it's not going to be
Okay. I need to give you a little less than the last one, hey?
Okay,
line's pretty good.
Zeros.
T-line. T-line. Okay, you got lots of room. Back 4. Back 8 right now. Whoa, lots and lots of room. Back 8. Looks really heavy.
This was Lorraine Schneider looking at 3 on her last one, hoping to hit and roll into the button. Only gets second shot, and a steal of 1 for Nancy Martin, still staying in, hanging in after giving up a 7-0 lead, 7-3 for Lorraine Schneider.
Pretty good.
And Amber Holland sliding deep again. That comes to rest the back of the 12-foot. It's third shot.
Because I got 53, and you guys did 3.
So with that, Sherry looking at putting it top 8. Something for Amber to have to navigate around as she draws to the 4-foot for a single point.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Then go too deep and
No, absolutely.
right. She just threw it.
So your spot is?
Well, full 12. Just on the side. Okay.
So certainly lots for the Holland team to discuss, because Amber's usually so solid on her draw weights, usually very, very close in all her shots. So definitely a puzzler out there for them, trying to get the various paths figured out.
It's one of those situations where, of course, they're at ice level. We're seeing everything from the camera views above the ice, and I don't know whether we're seeing it different than them, but it certainly looks like anything down the middle dies a little differently than, again, that stone Amber just throwing, going towards the wings as it's dying and just kept on sliding. Really easy to see from the camera view above the ice. I don't know if they're picking up the paths quite the same at ice level. Here you see Sherry Anderson's in the middle, dying on them. Now, she did talk about it going into the hacks. Better to be short than into the 8-foot and leave her a chance to hit this stone. She still at least has altered the path that Amber Holland has to play with her last stone.
Okay, right on the tee line.
Of course, we had a case of this. This was the steal of 4 for Amber Holland. Her first stone going towards the corner was a little bit deep. She made the adjustment, pulling the weight back, coming to the middle with her last one, and it ends up short of the rings. The same thing here. She's coming towards the middle. The speed's liable to be different anyway, and she's probably going to pull the weight back a bit on this.
Well, that's just about it. She just about has to throw what she just threw.
Oh, it seems like it, really.
See if it catches, once it catches the break point, it tends to slow down.
Curling
just
now.
Like that. was a good shot.
Good.
Does come to rest, biting the back of the forefoot. Amber Holland picks up her single point here in the fifth end of the play. She'll go into the break trailing by a score of 8-3. It'll be Sherry Anderson and her 5-time national senior champions with Last Rock when we come back for the sixth.
Saskatchewan Championship Curling is brought to you by Viterra, SaskTel, Saskatoon Auto Connection, Singler Real Estate, Coldwell Banker Signature, Boston Pizza Restaurants of Saskatchewan, SaskTel Max TV, Curl Sask, and Real Cast Media.
At Viterra, we believe in the power of connection. Our world-leading agriculture network connects producers and consumers to supply top-quality food ingredients each and every day. Our team takes great pride in working closely with farmers to help feed the world. It's something we've been doing for over 100 years. And as an industry leader, we're dedicated to playing a critical role in meeting the needs of a growing world. Because together, we're stronger and achieve more.
Today, online bullying is more common than ever, but there is help. SaskTel wants to solve this problem. It's why they created Be Kind Online. If you're a victim of online bullying or know someone who is, or even if you just want to stop it from happening to anyone, this is a place to learn what you can do. You can find lots of tools and tips to help you stand up to cyberbullying. Be Kind Online is a place to learn how to stay safe as well, to learn best practices and plans to stop cyberbullying before it even has a chance.
Hi, this is Dustin Keltoff with Saskatoon Auto Connection. When I'm not working hard on my curling delivery, I'm working hard on making Auto Connection the best auto service center possible. I started our service center in 2018 because it's hard to find an auto service shop you can trust. At Auto Connection, our core values are honesty, integrity, and transparency. We're happy to text you photos or videos of your car's problems to help you make better, more educated decisions. Saskatoon Auto Connection, the mechanics you can trust.
And he's always playing with the toys. The team was going to play the brown team. Dance with my feet, not like running with my... Found this other person and it was like, painting is my thing and I like getting messy a lot.
Sharing quality time with kids is important. It's why Boston Pizza Foundation Future Prospects helps kids in communities across Canada have time with positive role models. Because every kid deserves a bright future.
Viterra believes in the power of connection, and that's exactly what they do for curling in Saskatchewan. Viterra has been a very generous sponsor for curling in Saskatchewan for many years, and we would like to thank them for their continued support. The Viterra youth programs and clinics have been a huge success, and Curl Sask would not be able to spread the love of curling with so many communities in Saskatchewan without their help. Viterra is fostering a love of curling in the future generation of champions, and Curl Sask could not be happier to have them on our team. Curl Sask is excited to present Viterra with the 2023 Legends of Curling Sponsor Award.
Saskatchewan Championship Curling is brought to you by SaskTel, proud sponsor of the men's tankard.
The shot from far above Estevan, now the shot from far above ice level. Amber Holland with her work cut out for her here now, I think, as we begin play in the sixth end. Trailing by 5, she's got to be thinking steal already. It's getting past the point where you can start thinking forces and score big ends. So you see the tight guard there, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're at the point of 2 center guards and see what we can force out of this end.
I would even go one step further and not say surprise, but it's what I expect.
Well, they have to do something to increase the degree of difficulty for the Anderson team. They left them pretty open shots, and Amber's team has to start executing just a bit better to put that pressure onto the Holland team, or onto the Anderson team.
The Anderson team certainly has seemed to adjust better now, whether or not their ice was similar last night, where the rocks in the middle are coming down a little bit more than the rocks towards the corner. The Anderson team, and yeah, they struggled with it in the first end, but they do seem to be catching on to it quicker. The Anderson team even sliding to the back forefoot there, but doing a little bit better job of it. We see the Holland team, and you saw it again last end, Amber Holland going towards the wings, slides to the back 12. She did make a nice recovery to make the last draw for her single.
Well, and that's what caught her right away in the second end with that big steal of 4.
We'll take it, Anita.
Yeah, I
Now you're going to put one on top of it.
Okay. So Brenda,
There is the second center guard, and boy, she's got those two well lined up.
Nicely done.
it's about the same actually.
Well, and helpful that yellow rock is back forefoot. You know, at least you're guarding something that you can use.
Really, at this point in time for Amber Holland, there's 3 rocks that are all working in her favor.
That's right. If that rock was top forefoot, that's a scary proposition, putting those 2 center guards up.
But you know, this one is certainly where they're going. Anita is putting this one top forefoot. That's certainly the call.
Coming down. 8. Actually, we're to it.
14-7. She flew out of the hack on that one. Holy. 6. Oh.
Boy, that stopped on a dime.
It listened, didn't it? But still, when it's deep button like that, it's very workable for the Holland team to take advantage of this.
Deeper than they would have liked, but still forces Amber Holland to move it at some point in time. She doesn't really have to do it right now, but I think the call is to try to move this just behind the tee line.
Just to it.
If they just freeze to it, it's not bad for now.
Little bump. Let it work if you can. Wait a little. Back 4. Yep, go.
Just to it. It just picked on the button.
Line looks tighter on this one.
Well, I think they think it picked at some point, but certainly got the job done. But you know where Sherry's going.
Top 4.
Nice press, Brenda.
You got it. Give us a press.
That was the 5th rock of the end, so you can start moving guards now.
Not much doubt.
Good lineup that Deb Lazinski left with her 2 guards makes it really tough to play a double peel. I think the call here was just the single, but sounds like she might have been just a tad inside. You might be able to get both of them moving.
Right out.
Well, I have to think she was thinking the single peel all the way, because if you're that little bit tight and you really wanted to go after 2, that was maybe the chance to do it.
I think you gotta come here, tap. Just in with him. Yeah, atta girl. Just back 4.
Could have curled a little high hair and got
got
that
it.
second one, yeah. We had enough weight out, went off.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it would have gone off.
Yeah.
I have to say I'm almost surprised to see her coming in right now. I thought she'd...
Back 4.
We talk about the timing all the time, right? You play that higher guard, you know that Sherry Anderson's going to peel it for a couple more. The problem with coming in this early and making the half, she's going to go peel the 1 guard that you've got left.
For sure, and then everything's in the rings.
Protecting for the whole end with only 1 guard.
Yeah.
And at some point at the end, you're going to have to do that anyway, but how many attempts do you want to let Sherry Anderson have? That stone a little bit strong, playing for the tap, actually got by her own and touches shot stone, but the shooter spins through to the back of the 8-foot, so it continues to be Anderson sitting 2 and a chance to peel the center guard.
And now you've got everything in the rings.
That would have been back 12.
Well, I think Amber just trying to shake it up, just changing the game plan. She knows exactly too, the second guard, but she's trying to just do something different because plan A's have not been working. So that's the rationale I could think about, is that trying to get it complicated into the rings and maybe get that jam.
No real choice now. She's got to play guards, at least for a couple. She'll have to play something into the middle. Boy, you could even wait to your first stone. Maybe she might wait to her last one. And it's hard. The yellows aren't lined up where you could touch both of them either. So the best you're going to be sitting is 1.
2, 3.
This could be one of those ends where you're either going to steal one here, or it might be time to go for lunch.
Just above the Viterra is good.
We might be top 12 here.
If you're in, you gotta go.
Yep.
Hard, straight. Go.
Hear them calling straight there. They were hoping when that was coming in to stay a little bit on the high side of that stone at the top 4-foot. Right now there's an angle to get perhaps not just a double, you might even get all 3 red ones moving.
Well, you hit it right. It's going to go in that direction on the back to catch that red.
Well, when it curled past the nose, the chance of jamming onto shot stone isn't as good as you'd like either. If she could have left it that much on the other side of the stone at the top 4-foot, it's a little trickier for Sherry to make a play on it without risking the jam on the yellow. Even if she jammed it now, she'd have to drive the one across the top of the one at the top 4-foot, and that means only one of the reds is going to stay in the middle.
Exactly where Patty's broom is. You hit half the rock on that top one.
And we might miss the 2, actually. It'd be nice if we clip the 2,
if we
though.
just clip the 2, you might.
Yeah, I like that.
But yeah,
just firm or.
You can show. Yeah.
I'm not sure which one the 2 is, so whether they're worried about touching the one on the button or the one at the back 4-foot.
Well, and good for Patty to come down and take a look, get these angles figured out mentally, and it definitely helps with the throw when you've had that close-up vision first.
She could have just looked up. It's on the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
The players don't get the opportunity to do that often, but our feed is on the Jumbotron here in the stadium. So you will see from time to time the players looking up.
I know. I'm right at the hog line where I go there now.
So Patty Hersekorn with her first.
Firm. Whoa.
Looking for the double. Might be able to move 3 rocks here. Certainly can clear some of the congestion on the center line. Makes the hit, but just touches the second one, and boy, that one actually helps Amber Holland, because now there starts to be a bit of a wall there in that 4-foot area.
I'm liking this.
Get the corner freeze now, it becomes real hard to move this one.
Yeah.
Okay, Kim, let's go.
Wait, you're 20?
Got that top 8.
Line's a little tight.
Line's not bad.
Line's
Line's not bad.
okay.
No. Little tap,
T.
back 4.
Back 4, T back 4.
Back 4. Line's pretty good.
Looking for the inside corner of that stone, and she's got a couple of options. A dead freeze is okay, and as long as she stays on the corner, she could tap it back to even with the other yellow and create a wall back there behind the shooter.
That's fine, Kim. Okay.
That does the first. There's no way you can hit that. It's not leaving. It's just going to go into the other red. It'll be shot rock. Sherry Anderson looking at making a play onto what is 3rd. Come across and at least nudge that to change the angle.
Right.
I don't think she could get it out, but
try to break that freeze, that really nice shot that Kim just put in.
Catch that? I've almost biffed on the carpet.
Robin Silvernagel with last rock
Catch it with your gripper.
in the 6th end against Skylar Ackerman, and I think she's sitting one already, so that's a draw for 2. Had to come away from the center line just because that was the path that was left for her, but I think she got her deuce.
Okay.
Patty make the hit a little thin on the first one, does touch the red, but actually a little too thin, and her shooter moves the yellow.
It's a lonely red, but quite a wall behind it.
It's a lonely red, but a hard red to get out.
Yeah.
Well, and two, the red just moved that inch off to the left of the center line, which sort of helps the Anderson team a little bit. Like, that was a really nice shot to break that freeze and change those angles.
I think Anderson still got shot rock, though, so Amber Holland going to have... And that's important, because if Amber Holland was shot rock here, she could just throw a straight guard. As it is, she's going to have to try to tap to the freeze again.
Second one. Her first one I got 15-2 or something.
So, do you think it might be just a hair chunkier because we're going across center?
Well, you can blast it on the nose.
I'm still thinking 1475 to T. That's,
Yep.
Yeah, no, I think it's same.
Back four right now.
Okay, it's got to curl a little. Just cleaning.
Back 4, really kind of what they're looking for, but it's a question of the line. And we have seen a number of these rocks, as they start to get close to that center line, really come down in a hurry.
Ooh, that's not what you wanted.
Yeah, I would have thought if that was the line, I thought they might be sweeping to curl.
She's got to move 2 rocks.
14 and a half.
At 14
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Which, does that matter?
No. I mean, I'll pop it out.
Hard to tell. I think Sherry Anderson still shot rock at the back of the forefoot. The question for Sherry is, how does she move both of those red ones? You'd like to come off, you see them indicating, they'd like to come off the higher one first, but there's some danger of jamming it. The one that Amber just threw, which is actually splitting center, you could come off it into, and you heard, I think it was Patty say, come into the back half of the other red stone.
Well, it looks like a quarters hit on that top red for the double. It's where do you leave your shooter? And if it stays there, that top button, top corner of the button.
Well, but you're also going to jam when you're hitting that one first, and it's a question of how far does it leave the rings? Does it stay in the forefoot? It's really a matter of how much do you hit on the first one.
Firm?
She'd be sitting probably 2 in the middle, though, and Amber Holland's going to have to deal with those.
Well, that's just, I mean, I think Sherry wants to get things spread around a little bit off that clump in the back button.
Like, they're not confident in telling me anything, so I'm just like,
Uh-oh.
A little trouble with the landing gear.
Close. Anita. Hard, Anita.
And
You really
the early call is sweep for curl.
Hard.
Boy, is there a hole between the reds? Well, if there is, she didn't hit it. She got it close to what she had in mind. Moved both reds. It does jam fairly solid, but Sherry Anderson sitting 3, and there's no way to make the triple, so Amber can't sit 2.
Well, you got the landing down, so good job.
Do you play the nose hit here? Just double those 2 yellows, try to stay in front of the one at the back, and then it's a trickier stone for Sherry Anderson to remove because she could jam it on that stone back forefoot.
No, I thought Sherry made that shot really well in the sense of Amber's got to throw some weight here in order to ever get that rock off the button.
She sounded pretty worried about it when she let it go. Next door, Lorraine Schneider with a 7-3 lead over Nancy Martin as they play in the 7th end there.
Well, it was a shaky start for the Martin team, but they've certainly caught their legs here in the last couple of ends to start to get some momentum going.
Makes the hit, rolls a bit to the outside, but I think it stopped in time, so it looks like
1 yellow.
Lorraine Schneider with a single point there, we believe, and that would give her the 8-3 lead. Amber Holland, it's not just that she needs to make the double here, she needs to stick the shooter. She makes 2 of them move, but the shooter's going to roll a little too far, and Sherry Anderson already sitting 1.
Has pretty much an open hit for.
She could play the hit for 3. She could just play the straight draw for 2 as well. Even if she hits this thin and just picks it, she's going to get 2.
I know that's around 9.
9.5 on this. That's probably max with a 10.
I don't know if playing on gives us
Okay,
info.
little last set.
Well, it's only the 6.
Yeah, when you point them, they go.
Well, I think last year, too, the Holland team got off to a bit of a slow start in this competition. And the next thing we knew, they got a couple things figured out, and they were in our semifinal game on Sunday morning. So the first game, if it doesn't go your way, you still tell you there are lots of chances, a couple more chances to get into playoffs. So
Yeah, you will. You will.
Amber was in similar boat last year, and we saw her on Sunday.
So you're trying to say they're right where they want to be?
Exactly.
10, 10, 5. Yes. Hard.
Sherry Anderson looking for the hit, needs to be a little bit center line side. They called the brush on right away. Over curls a hair, it will kill the back Yellowstone, but her shooter stays in the forefoot. Put 2 more points on the board for Sherry Anderson. She takes a 10-3 lead after 6 ends of play, and the Holland team going to have a quick discussion. It's a very quick discussion, and gloves come off. It's time for handshakes, and they'll get ready for lunch and try to regroup for their game later on tonight. And boy, Susan, this was a dominant performance for the Anderson team. They really seemed to catch on to the different paths earlier than the Holland team, and really the Holland team struggled with that the whole game right up to that even the last single that she got was back forefoot coming to the middle after sliding deep going to the corner.
Well, it really helped Sherry with that opening 2-ender. It seemed to be a little bit simpler ice to hit on as compared to making those precise draws and come around. So as soon as Amber got into that come from behind situation and having difficulty making those precise shots, the Sherry Anderson team today hit very well. They made a lot of peels. Anytime Amber tried to get something going, the peel was made. The double peel was made. So it was an outstanding, solid performance from the Anderson team today, and deserved that score.
And it looks like Kim Hudson is with Sherry Anderson at ice level. And Kim, take it away.
You betcha. Hey, Sherry, that was a great game. What did you think of the ice first draw?
First draw was
Compared to this one, I guess I wasn't very clear.
Yeah.
It looked like it had changed.
It had changed some, yeah. It wasn't nearly as quick, which was okay. It was still nice speed, but it just didn't carry that extra 3-4 feet. Last night we found 15 was almost through. Yeah. Today 15 was T-line. So just those extra 2 or 3 feet, but there was a little more curl, so that was good. All in all, it was good. It's a nice surface to slide on, so that's the main thing.
How much of an advantage was it to play last night?
You know, I always think it is, right? We've been there, Kim, and we know, I think, to be on the ice, get your nerves out of the way, get your feet under you, although mine barely were under me a couple of times.
Good recovery.
But I do think it's an advantage to be on the ice. As long as you win that first game, you got a little bit of an advantage right off the bat, and that showed, in the second end with Amber. Normally she doesn't miss 2 draws like that. So
yeah, for sure. Have you played Amber before?
Once or twice, yeah.
Yes, very good. And one more question. How is it being here with your senior team? I think this is the first time you've been in the Scotties with your senior team.
It is, and it's exciting. We have nothing to lose. Like I said, we just wanted to come out and play well and have some fun playing on the arena ice. We don't get that every day, and fortunately, when you get to the provincials, sometimes you get that, and that's the nice part about playing in the women's. And so, yeah, we're enjoying it.
Awesome. Well, good luck. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
So Sherry Anderson with a 10-3 win here this morning in our feature game, but there's still 3 other games on the ice to be decided. We're going to turn our attention really quickly right now over to sheet 1.
I believe this was the last shot of the end while the score was still 6-2. Penny has this open draw, needs full 8 foot to catch second shot. And just
Sweepers had
kicks
to make
in
an
off.
interesting
There
call
we go.
there. It was looking like it was a little deep, and they played the chisel. So Penny Barker with her last one does pick up the 2 points, closes to within 6-4 there. As I said, still 3 games to be decided. We will have all of the action for you when we come back after this short break.
Today, online bullying is more common than ever, but there is help. SaskTel wants to solve this problem. It's why they created Be Kind Online. If you're a victim of online bullying or know someone who is, or even if you just want to stop it from happening to anyone, this is a place to learn what you can do. You can find lots of tools and tips to help you stand up to cyberbullying. Be Kind Online is a place to learn how to stay safe as well, to learn best practices and plans to stop cyberbullying before it even has a chance.
When we were first looking at these e-bikes, I read the reviews. What they talked about was an e-bike grin, and I had no idea what an e-bike grin was, but the first time I powered that bike up, I had the biggest smile on my face. It was unbelievable, because unless you own one or have driven one, you really have no idea what that feeling is like. It's hard to describe.
What's for dinner?
What's for dinner? What's for dinner?
Tell them Boston Pizza's for dinner. From appies and salads to burgers, pasta and pizza, all delivered to your door. Boston Pizza. Gather round.
This isn't just a beer. This is a double-aged, never-back-down, full-of-heart Western beer. This is a beer brewed by 16 guys who risked it all. Original 16. Underdogs since 1989.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, still 3 games left to be decided. We're going to turn our attention right next door on sheet 2. Robin Silvernagel with a 6-3 lead over Skylar Ackerman as we play here in the 7th end.
Yes, we saw that very solid performance from the Silvernagel team last night in their opening game, and they are carrying that forward again into today's game. As mentioned, this is Skylar Ackerman's first game out on the ice as she was set forward in the draw as the number 3 seed. Got off to a bit of a slow, shaky start, but they're hanging in there and getting the ice figured out.
Well, you know, and I want to go back to something that you just talked about with Sherry, Kim, talking about how it's nice to have played last night and get out here. Every team that gets here, they would love to have that bye. Nobody's going to say no thank you to the bye.
Yeah,
in past seasons, you haven't seen it make a heck of a lot of difference. This morning here, so far in this draw, all 4 of the teams that got set ahead are trailing, or one is already lost. But I think the bigger factor is Sherry talking about how the ice is different this morning than it was yesterday, which is the only time in practice yesterday would be the only time those teams have seen the ice so far. Skylar Ackerman with a nice shot with her final stone.
So again, we saw Ashley Howard get off to a very fast start. Barker team got their way back in, but then had a bit of a blip there with that 4-ender.
We saw her make that chisel in to get the 2, though, before we went to commercial break to close that to a 2-point gap. Sherry Anderson with the dominant performance in our feature game, and right next door on sheet 4, another lopsided score, 8-3, as they're playing in the 7th end there. And again, all 4 of the top 4 seeds all trailing here this morning, although a couple of them still close enough to perhaps pull it out.
Well, same thing too. Nancy Martin's team taking a couple of ends to get things figured out there. And Lorraine Schneider's team did not allow them to do that. They jumped all over her. Nancy's team seems to be getting a little bit stronger as they're getting things figured out, but it's hard coming back from those big holes that you get dug into early.
Well, those big 4-enders, steals of 4,
yeah,
pretty big.
Well, as Sherry said, they knew they got off fortunate with Amber giving up that steal of 4. Amber doesn't usually, most skips don't miss shots like that, and particularly somebody of Amber's quality. So again, one of our youthful teams here in the province, Skylar Ackerman's team, highly accomplished as junior-aged curlers. They went off to a Canada Games. They've been in the high performance camps for the Curl Sask high performance teams for several years now, and just done remarkably well. Very mature young women, and very nice curlers and very nice people.
Center guard thrown to start the end. Robin Silvernagel now asking Cara Teveno to come around to the top 8-foot area. Looking for some curl. They'd like to bury a piece of this at least. Maybe got a sliver under the guard. Skylar Ackerman wondering how much she can see from the hack. I'm wondering, does it matter?
I was thinking the same thing. I thought you'd just be throwing another guard.
So Kaylin Skinner looking to put that rock in.
Or T-line. T-line. Yeah, T.
Kaya Kennedy on our right sweeping, along with Taylor Stremick.
Just frozen, bumping a foot. No, we're just doing it.
Ends up a little short of the rings. So it looks like this sheet perhaps a little similar to what we were looking at on our feature sheet. The rock coming up a little lighter than they thought in the middle.
So Robin asking Cara to come right around.
Brusher's just a clean sweep off and on here now, picking it up a little bit more. He's got plenty of room by the guard.
Yeah, Sherry Just finishing it in. Oh, and here comes Robin. Give it a hand.
Brings it into the top 4-foot. There's a good look at it, probably 2/3 behind cover.
But key in that both the Silvernagel's rocks and the rings are both well in front of the tee line.
Top 12. Just do it. Top 8.
Well, good sweep, but they needed 6 feet more weight on that, but at least they bounced off of that and didn't leave the stagger.
With the exception of the stagger on the top center.
Well, it's almost an embarrassment of riches for Robin Silvernagel. What do you play here? You're up 2. You have last rock as we play the 8th. Things in the center are good. They're going to call a timeout.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked to see them peel that long center, actually.
I would think that is what you play, but...
Well, Robin's first indication was draw open side, but I'm not sure you're helping yourself a lot like that.
No, because all that does too is just maybe complicate any further peels that you may throw, leaving rocks over on the side like that.
Yeah, I think they're peeling the top center.
So Sherry Just being asked to remove this high center guard.
Nice throw.
Yeah, being able to throw that big weight that easily is certainly a weapon out there when you're playing that peeling game. And Sherry has no difficulty throwing that weight nicely.
Does leave the short run back attempt here for Skylar Ackerman. Looks like they're playing full hit at it. I thought she might just try to jiggle some things around.
I think that's a bit of youth involved there where, you know, you just want to hit something. The instinct isn't there to play that softer tap game at this stage. But nicely done by Taylor, who just got the spin back in.
Not the run they were looking for, though. It rolls the shooter off the center, and they're still only second shot. Still gives them one center guard to work with. Robin Silvernagel looking at which one do we want to pick, and they're going to go after the center guard.
Yeah.
A little bit easier to remove the guard, and she does have that tight corner. You see her eyeing up. If Sherry just can roll into that. She's not really worried about making the double. She's using it to get her shooter into the rings.
That's right. Get in there for third shot.
Makes the hit. Shooter does come across, but more to the front end of that stone than they would have liked. So spins up and sits for a corner guard still, though. The only two rocks in the middle, both in the rings. It's a little tougher for Skylar Ackerman to try to generate any kind of a steal like that. For now, looking for the center guard. This is almost scoreboard dictated too. A force is not great for you here. You'd like to set up the steal. If you were just worried about the force, you could, in theory, play those two in the rings right now, try to sit two yellow. The problem is neither of them are going to be in a great steal position, so you might want to leave that later in the end. That guard is nice and long. I don't see any kind of double happening here.
Sorry.
So just looking for the single peel.
I got it now. Yeah.
And while this one makes its way down, we've got another update for you. Nancy Martin struggled early in the game, but here against Lorraine Schneider as they play in the seventh end, appears to be sitting 3 anyway, might be 4. And with the final stone, it's certainly a chance to draw for 4. But this is going to be a little strong. Slides through the back.
Oh, that was a big point.
Yeah, it's 3 for sure. They'll take a quick look around the outside. Looks like they've moved them off. It was just 3 points, and that closes to within 8-6. But of course, if you make that last draw, it's a 1-point game. That's a big draw to have slid deep.
Well, especially when you've worked so hard to stay in the game like that. That's a big momentum switch for that Schneider team, because they were already, you could bet they were already starting to feel the nerves having that 7-0 lead turn into a 1-point lead. 2 is still not a lot of breathing room, but it's more than 1.
Another straight peel attempt. Now, did they come into the side of the rock this time? And
just
again,
missing.
just a little bit on the top end of it. And the shooter stays outside of the rings. We're on to skip stones now, so decision time for Skylar Ackerman. Do you make a play on the 2 in the middle, or do you try to loop right around both of them?
If we throw a guard, yeah.
They're still talking about throwing another guard. Boy, I think if you throw a guard now, Robin Silvernagel's drawing.
I agree with you. I don't think I'd be guarding. I actually like looping right around, to be honest with you.
Well, we'll see if we call their coach out here.
Nothing wrong with the tap either.
Closer, but I gotta get this all the way out.
No, yeah. I don't think we can throw a guard. No, and I think if we throw a guard, she's just gonna ignore it and draw another one in probably.
Which then we could draw around, yeah. I don't mind the draw. I like that better than a guard, I think. I think so. Yeah, I agree. I think
Oh, good for Kaylin Skinner to put that, come around.
You bet.
She
Treat
is
those-
the wily veteran on the team.
Yeah.
I think my socks are still older than she is, but she'd be the oldest player on this team. She's probably 4 years out of junior.
It's like a giant chunk of something. Yummy. Yeah. Yeah, even back four, full back four is good. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go, guys.
Certainly from what we've seen, it's only draw 2. We haven't actually seen this sheet, but we've seen play across the 4. Looks like there's enough curl coming into the house to get around a rock like this. The trick this morning has been that as these rocks come into the middle, they seem to come down so fast, and it's tricky for the sweepers.
Better room right now. Better room, better room, better room. Careful.
Yeah, we don't know if that's the same across the board here, but curl shouldn't be an option. Or curl shouldn't be a problem, I should say.
There it's curling now. There it goes. There it goes. Always Taylor. Always Taylor. Bring it right back. Right back. Room for 2. Right back. Hard Taylor. Hard, 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 hard.
Yep.
Oh, great weight. Didn't quite bury.
No, that was close to getting the line they wanted, but we didn't see a hard
The big
finish
curl.
like we'd had on our other sheet.
That's right.
There's a good look at it. Maybe got just a sliver under that stone at the top 12, but certainly looks like Robin Silvernagel has enough left that she could play a hit, roll into the 8-foot sit 2.
Yeah.
And not leave any backing or anything. It'd have to be another shot just like that. A little bit deeper.
In theory.
Nothing out of the brushers yet. The indication from Sherry Just maybe that there's a little more weight here than they intended. Now starting to curl. Wants to hold the shooter for second. That just spins a little too far, I think. It might be...
I think it might have. Yeah, it's close. Kaya could have been on that a little bit quicker. That could be a big centimeter there in a measure if it comes to that.
I think we just have to do. Yeah. I think, do you like throwing a 9 so then we can hit it a little thicker? I feel like that's probably lost. I think so, or do you want to come into it? I think I like
But we have this hasn't been the feature game, of course, so we don't know where the timeout situation is like, but I'm looking. I'd be surprised if the coach isn't doing jumping jacks here.
Well,
there you go. They've got timeout left. This
It's the 8th end. This is almost conceding two.
You're not getting shot rock here. You're conceding 2 by playing this. And
Yeah.
I think it's third shot. Like,
Nice 9.
That's Coach Patrick Ackerman sitting back there.
yeah, you're getting nothing out of this call.
Yeah.
If you don't throw this, I don't think she's trying to hit the front one for 3, so she's still only playing for 2.
Yes, Coach can't call the timeout. He could signal he would like one, but it does have to come from the ice. I think he was trying to conjure one up, but...
Mental telepathy.
Well, makes the hit, but it's a little thin. Rolls the shooter out of play, so it'll be an opportunity for Robin Silvernagel with her last stone here. Needs full 8 foot to pick up the deuce. She could restore a 4-point lead here.
Yes, definitely puzzling because Skylar had just played that really nice out-turn draw. She just needed about a foot more weight and get it partially buried behind those staggered rocks, and I'm sure...
Or you could play the short runner if you wanted to, but there was just, you weren't getting anything off that shot. If you made exactly what you planned, you're still giving up 2. Like,
That's
you weren't getting anything hitting third shot.
So you could see the coach scribbling furiously in the notebook.
Brusher's cleaning this stone early. That's usually a good sign. We do know, and even on this sheet we've seen a few, as they start to get closer to center, the weight will come off, but she's got lots of room by that stone at the top 8. Just needs full 8 foot. Robin Silvernagel with her final stone will pull it into a corner of the button. She picks up 2 more points here in the 8th end. That gives her an 8-4 lead over Skylar Ackerman. It'll be the Ackerman team with last rock needing to generate some offense in the 9th end when we come back.
Boston Pizza's legendary spicy pierogi pizza with cactus cut potatoes, bacon, cheddar cheese, and a dollop of sour cream. If that's still not pierogi enough for you, you could always fold it in half. The spicy pierogi, only at Boston Pizza.
When we were first looking at these e-bikes, I read the reviews. What they talked about was an e-bike grin, and I had no idea what an e-bike grin was, but the first time I powered that bike up, I had the biggest smile on my face. It was unbelievable, because unless you own one or have driven one, you really have no idea what that feeling is like. It's hard to describe.
Just before we return to the game on sheet 2, we've got final stone coming here in the 8th end on sheet 1. It appears to be Penny Barker sitting 1 at the back 12, and so with her final stone needing full 12 foot to try to pick up 2 points here. And
Line's good. 2, 2, 3.
Brusher's cleaning this early.
Jenna
Looks
Inga.
good.
Danielle Sazinski.
You can wait. Just to your broom. Line's good. Right to me, all you guys.
Needed full 12, puts it in the 4 foot. She will pick up her 2 points there, and
Nice, okay.
that closes to within 7-6. 2 ends to play left there. It'll be the Howard team with last rock as they play the 9th. Our number 1 seed in this event, closing the gap there.
Well, they had the same MO as all the other teams that started their first game today. Took a while to get things figured out, but
it has been
having
a
a stronger second half than a first half. But it could make for a very interesting B event very early into this competition if scoreboards hold for some of these teams.
Well, with a 4-point lead, you do see the Silvernagel team putting both their rocks right into the rings.
I thought we might see the
Second
Ackerman team
corner.
throw both of theirs to corner guards, and they did talk about it. Looks like they've decided to try to come around here with the lead second stone.
I think you can wait. You can wait a second.
Kaya, you gotta go. Just go. Just
We're
go.
back.
Take it
Back 4. Back 8.
If it's not through, just go. If it's not through, Kaya, you gotta go. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Yep.
I mean, if I'm the Ackerman team, I think I'm happy to see 2 red rocks in the rings. I thought Robin might have possibly put one through to the backboards early, because if I'm down 4, I'm looking for anything to work with, and there's a little bit of help there right now.
Didn't get enough around that corner guard, so Sherry just has a chance to make a play on it. The corner guard, though, still in the free guard zone, so they have to make sure not to clip that. Maybe a little generous on the ice, and maybe a little generous with the weight here as well. Trying to sweep for some curl. She's going to rub that stone. And just enough spin to get it out of the rings. Does leave it in play, and it's in a spot where if you jam it, the jam stone could very well still be in the rings. So another come around attempt now.
Line's good.
Come around attempt now, and enough rocks will have been thrown that they can just...
Yeah, if you make it good, they're going to peel the guard.
Just straight up peel, yeah.
So let me ask you then, Kim, since you started it,
Sure.
if you only put this halfway around, do you tempt Robin Silvernagel to maybe make a play on it and maybe you get a mistake?
I would, well, I don't think she will, though. I think she'll walk straight up there and make the peel.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Could you ever tempt her by showing her half to make a play on it? Really doesn't matter when you slide it that far to the back and it's not half open anyway.
Yeah. Going to the back wasn't half bad if, gives you room to put a second one around if you ever get the chance. But the way the Silvernagel team is peeling, you're not going to get that chance. Taylor Stremick looking to replace that corner guard.
Line's good. 3, 2
This is one where I almost wish they'd have looked at it a little bit more. Instead of trying to replace the corner guard, bring it about a foot or a foot and a half closer to center line. And because you're not going to see Robin Silvernagel's team nose hit this. You're going to see them, if they're going to do something, it's going to be they're going to hit half a rock. Well, if you're a foot and a half closer to center, there's jams on both sides if she hits half a rock.
Makes the peel a little bit more
Makes
difficult.
it a little bit
but
trickier, yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to jam this on the yellows right now. And she's never going to hit it on the other side to jam it on the reds. You bring it basically between the I and the T on Viterra, and half a rock on either side is jamming something.
So Kelly Schaefer looking for her out turn as a left-handed thrower.
Cara Teveno, after a few years off competitive play, adopting the senior method of sweeping where she starts at halfway. I feel fairly confident that if Cara finds out that I said that, I'm going to hear something about it later on today, perhaps at lunch.
Tight's good. Room right now, right in the center, right in the center. Trying to move now. Okay, well then. Leave it as high as you can. Yeah, that's okay. Just leave it high. Leave it high. Take a seat.
Sliding right in, I think.
That's fine. Good suit.
You know, actually, if you're going to be on that line, that tighter makes the peel a better chance of it jamming on that one that's just outside the rings.
Yeah.
Of course, the other side of that, does Robin Silvernagel ever think about maybe not just playing this as a straight peel and play the straight back double? It kind of looked like she was playing it that way, the way they swept it, but she dead jams it. It does stay for third shot.
Yeah, you knew she was going for double when they played the other turn on that shot. But the Silvernagel team, it's been amazing how quickly they have meshed. As we had talked, they just formed before the cutoff in December, had one competition to play their way into the provincials, and they're looking very seasoned already.
Don't have it yet. Oh.
So having played their first two stones into the middle of the ring, so it still leaves a couple of rocks that the Ackerman team's going to have to deal with, and they wanted to get to the face on that one. It just nudges off, so room for Robin to not only get that yellow out, but you see the indication there. They could just roll another one on top and leave three in the line, and it, as much as Ackerman's got that one stone at the back 12-foot that Robin can't do anything with, she's still got to deal with 2 or perhaps 3 rocks in the 4-foot to bring that one back into play.
With only 2 rocks to come.
Robin has to be a little bit careful, though. I mean, if she's trying to roll just on top of that, if she ever rolled half a rock past it, she could leave a triple.
Set up the triple, yeah.
You're better off, I think, on this one to under-roll than to over-roll. If you stay half a rock on the center line side, it's going towards the yellow when she tries to play the triple, and that might not help Skylar Ackerman.
Yeah, definitely.
You roll half a rock past the one at the top of the four, and it could leave a triple where
sitting two.
All three reds fly, nothing goes near that rock at the back 12, and yeah, a deuce is in play.
Uh-huh.
They were on the brush right away. She overcurls a little bit here. She might lose one of her own. Oh, great job on the brush. They get it just by, and that's that angle we just talked about. You can probably move all three reds, but the top one is coming towards that yellow at the back 12. While they look at the angles, we're going to look over at sheet 4 right in front of us. Nancy Martin was down early, has clawed her way back into the game, but looks like the Schneider team's sitting one, and their shot for 2 is about a 12-foot run back to catch the edge of the button. It's going to just over curl. Looks like the weight was really
Pretty
good
close.
for a tap back of that length. It'll be a single point for Lorraine Schneider. She'll take a 9-6 lead into the 10th there. It'll be Martin with last rock, and boy, what a big difference 2 versus 3 would have been had she made that draw.
For sure.
In the 8th end.
It was only 1 point, but as I say, that was a big point.
It's a really big point, yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost as big as when you're looking for the fat rock.
Yeah. Fat or skinny.
This side, 7-8 high, 7-8 this side, other 7. We should get them both, right?
That's right, yeah.
This one will stay, and we should roll on top.
They have called the timeout here
I like that.
as they look at the angles.
I think you got to be a little on this side.
I think this side, right?
Yeah, little on this side, roll them both over here. I like that.
I like that.
And sit there.
We got to sit
Yeah.
there,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I feel
Sit
like
with
throwing
it.
the in-turn,
They roll
just take
together.
less ice.
Yeah.
They roll together.
Yeah.
Sit there, those are gone. And we
Yeah.
got a good chance
Yeah,
to shoot
just roll them both to here.
for sure, too.
Yeah, hit it like right here.
Yeah, I think just take where you want to hit it.
I think so. Peel.
So there's the discussion. You heard what they're talking about. You try to hit this just off nose on the center line side. Your shooter's going to roll a couple of inches, but you won't dead jam the second one, so you're hoping it rolls over with your rock. I think they're also hoping it catches the third one, and you know, I was looking at that earlier. I'm not. You can lean all you want. It doesn't change your... Kim's leaning, looking at the monitor. It doesn't really change the angle you're looking at when it's on a flat screen. It's hard to tell from this angle whether it catches that third rock or not.
Yeah. Then their last decision here is how much weight to throw at this rock. So it sounded like Peel, big weight here from Skylar.
Tell you, if you're trying to roll the two rocks together, I'm not sure about the weight call.
Yeah. It's pretty precise with Peel to do that.
Think about bringing it down a little bit, yeah. Boy, she has to get across the center a little bit.
There it goes.
We'll see whether or not it gets by the back yellow, and it's not going to. And that was the reason they couldn't play the triple in. As it turns out, it wasn't going to catch that third stone, so it leaves Robin Silvernagel a chance to make a play on the top one, and she's actually got room to pass it by. There you can see Kelly Schaefer lining it up. She's the one in the house. She'll make the call. First of all, you make sure you hit the yellow, but if you're close, she'll call that sweep off at the end, try to hold that shooter right in front of the one at the back 4 foot, and it becomes a really tricky shot for Skylar Ackerman with their last one just to score.
I didn't think it was that crazy. I think maybe we could have just didn't move at all.
You play it on the safe side. If she over-rolls here a little bit, it'll leave Skylar a fairly open shot, but boy, this might have been back a little bit too. She's got to be careful. She hits this thin, it could jam on the back one as well. So they're sweeping for the curl. Coming up now, makes the hit, does pass it by the stone at the back, so Robin Silvernagel will sit for Skylar Ackerman, opting to hit the stone at the back 4 foot.
Well, she just played this shot, so it's, you know, whatever the skip feels, best about. We've seen her make nice draws in the last end too, but again, you go with your instinct.
Sweep call came right away. This has got less weight. This is going to curl a little bit more.
Yeah, hard to stick. Ouch.
Makes the hit.
Roll over.
It's going to roll, but it's behind that other red stone and slides a little too far. It's going to be a steal of one for Robin Silvernagel, and that will give her a 9-4 lead. Going to be a quick discussion here, and it looks like the gloves are coming off, so put that into the books as another final. Robin Silvernagel 9-4 here this morning in her second game, and that's another one of the top 4 seeds down to the B event early. And still 2 games to be decided, and we'll have that action for you when we come back from the short break.
We know farming isn't an 8-to-5 business. That's why we want to give you the tools to do business anywhere, anytime. With My Viterra, you have a powerful tool at your fingertips to stay connected no matter where you are. Create online contracts, receive customized alerts, view your account information, and access grain prices in real time. Talk to your rep today and find out more about how you can harness the power of My Viterra, keeping you connected in real time. This is My Viterra.
So 2 games in the books now. We've got 2 finals. It's the teams that were set ahead, losing in both of those games, and really the 2 games left on the ice, the top seeds are trailing. Take a quick look over at sheet 1 right now. Penny Barker with her final stone in the 9th.
She is looking to guard shot rock at the back of the 4-foot, but Ashley Howard sitting 2nd and 3rd shot here. So crucial guard
guarding or coming to the pocket?
First call was the guard, but got to get to the inside.
She wanted to tap it like that. I think she wanted to be to the inside of it. It is the Howard team with last rock, and Carrie-Anne McTaggart throwing the last 2 for this team. She's left enough room between them to play the double. Won't be able to hold the shooter, I don't think, if she makes the double.
Yeah, Penny just a smidge heavy with that and just didn't quite catch the corner of that red one.
One-point game here, so this is a big shot. A chance to perhaps take a 3-point lead coming home. I don't think there's any way she can make this for 3, but if she can make the double, lose the shooter, she'll still get 2. It's going to be a little thick on the first one. And not able to get it behind the stone at the back 12-foot, so it's just a single point for the Howard team. They do take an 8-6 lead. But it will be Penny Barker with last rock coming home, needing 2, the extra 3 points perhaps to get the win.
Carrie-Anne McTaggart was a long-time third for Casey Scheidegger out of Alberta, but is in here as the person allowed to join a team from out of province.
Yeah. Back line.
So in this wild and woolly game, there have just been rocks all over the place.
Like you can roll pretty big. It's
The
about
Nancy
getting
Martin
it, right?
team refusing to go away.
And another team, Larissa Murray, the fourth thrower for the Schneider team. She's the vice, but we're on to Skip Stones now.
That's okay. It's back
And
line.
it looks to be Martin sitting 2 as Larissa gets into the hacks to throw her first, and she can't see all of this rock. Plus, she's got a rock at the back of the 8-foot she's got to worry about jamming on.
So Ashley Williamson on our left, Callan Hammond on the right, getting ready to sweep.
Nancy Martin with last rock here as we play in the 4th.
Ashley!
It looks like she's going to have a chance for a multiple anyway. They're sweeping early on this to get curl right now. Still on the outside corner guard. Gets it by the guard, but I still don't know if she's got a piece of the rock in the 4-foot. Well, just enough to push it even further behind cover. Nancy Martin was hoping for 2, maybe 3, but if you bury this one, 4 is not impossible here.
Because like you guys are getting through here with weight.
It's a tough port, though.
With that stagger and draw weight, I agree with you.
Maybe I go here.
And Larissa was close there. Just a touch, maybe too much weight. Just couldn't finish up the curl.
I don't mind Nancy's thought here. You can draw behind the corners and still get third shot.
Mm-hmm. Come the natural way through the port.
Yeah.
Oh, and that still doesn't.
There is a yellow at the back of the 8-foot just behind where the camera cuts off, but it is third shot right now, and if you're full 8, you're still third.
Right. Perfect. And it still wouldn't leave a lot for the Schneider team with the way those are staggered.
I think. I don't even mind if you get it to
Larissa Murray with her final stone might have to follow Nancy Martin's, try to sit on the corner and cut the end down that way.
Right.
To double tap that to.
My other thing is, do I just pick that
You
one
want to call
out?
timeout? I think we go here.
Yeah. But we won't. Like, we think positive, right? Like, to me, I think that's the call, I think.
Okay, speed's good here.
Speed's still nice here.
I just don't, I would be throwing like a 2 guard if I'm throwing a guard. Just make her make one. I think on the tee line, full 8, right? You like to hear more ice for that?
Right out to her. Got it.
Okay.
And we did see Nancy Martin in the 7th end with a chance to pick up 4. She came deep on a draw attempt. Room by the front one. They're a little bit worried about the weight, but this is starting to run out of rings as well. It's going to be a little bit deep and might have overcurled even if it wasn't. It sits for 4th shot right now.
Why can't I find that weight?
What do you like better? Okay, let's play the tap then. What kind of weight?
Why can't I find that weight?
Okay.
Quick discussion from the Schneider team. They looked at, there is enough of the redstone available to play the slash double, but that's pretty dangerous. You ever catch it too thick, you jam it on the yellow at the back and you're giving up the draw for 4.
Yeah.
So going to play the tap. The center guard, try to bring it straight back. This is a draw tap. Even if they just tap it up for second, I think they'd be pretty happy right now because, again,
Maybe
Nancy Martin's going to be faced with the same problems. How do you get enough of the 8-foot to get a second point?
Whoa! Whoa! No, it's not there.
And again, Sweeping for curl. This is going to need to come over. She's got a piece of it, but I don't know if it's direct enough. Catches the second guard. Will it come in that way? Well, stops where it's still Nancy Martin sitting 2 and a chance to draw for the tie.
And really opened up the draw path for her.
Just a hair more ice here. That's a lot more ice.
That's a hard shot, though.
Larissa's weight was pretty close. They just couldn't get it up to that center line.
Yep.
Sounded like maybe there was some concern. She took more ice.
Nancy, you mean?
Nancy took more ice, and the sweeper maybe indicating that.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Just the way she said, that's a lot more ice. Maybe word it's too much. I don't think from the amount that the first one curled. I don't think you have to worry about that. Her first one's only about 1.5 feet too deep, and it still ran out of rings. She's got to stay fuller to the 8 foot than that one did.
Whoa! Whoa, then!
Brushers, I think I can hear them saying back 8, so they don't want to touch it.
Ah!
Nancy Martin has struggled with her draw weight in this game.
I think
And
it'll
it's going to be
stop.
deep again, but it stops in time. So put 3 points on the board for Nancy Martin, and well, it took her 9 ends to do it, but she's back to even after 9. It'll be Lorraine Schneider's team with last rock when we come back for the 10th.
When we were first looking at these e-bikes, I read the reviews. What they talked about was an e-bike grin, and I had no idea what an e-bike grin was, but the first time I powered that bike up, I had the biggest smile on my face. It was unbelievable, because unless you own one or have driven one, you really have no idea what that feeling is like. It's hard to describe.
Whoa, just go high then. Just high. Whoa.
As we come back here for the 10th end, that first stone coming to rest, the center guard.
Yeah, who'd have guessed? 9-9.
I assume they'd try to play 2 here, and if they're trying to play 2 center guards, I don't imagine they're thrilled with the position of that first one. It's halfway, which makes it a little bit tougher to spread out 2 guards here.
Although with that center line no tick, changes it a little bit, but
True.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Well, even prior to the no-tick rule, you always worried about trying to get separation for later on in the end when the double peels can start.
Yeah. And just information purposes, time on the time clocks. Schneider's got 2 minutes and 49 seconds with no timeouts left, and Martin 3:41 with a timeout. So certainly both very doable, but not a whole lot of time to dilly-dally.
Pass the curl! Jen, you gotta go. Okay, you gotta go though. I know, but can you go and be here? Or are you out? Okay, go.
This is one where they're caught. They'd like to get it to touch the center line, but they don't want it in the rings, and I think they ended up in the rings.
Looks to be.
Okay, can we stop our clock? Like, we're looking.
That conversation coming from the hack end, and they're right. While they're trying to determine whether or not this is in the free guard zone, their clock should not be running.
And especially when you're down to 2 minutes left,
Yeah.
you don't have that luxury.
Seconds are
Well,
huge.
And no timeouts. A lot of times you get late in a game like this when you're tight, they'll save that last timeout, and it's not really for a strategy discussion. It's just to make sure the skip has time to get down to the hacks. They're not going to have that luxury here this end.
Does clutter up the center line.
Just top 4 is fine, Jen.
Nice one. Did she call me to sweep? I was like, I don't know about this. Nice.
Kate. Queen.
What?
Yep. Whoa.
It was going when we were looking to see if it was in.
Curl. Curl. Where? Whoa. Whoa. No. No. No.
Room by the front one. Comes down, we'll nudge that back just a little bit, and more importantly, didn't roll too far off the nudge.
No.
I think that's what you heard, the slight bit of panic in Nancy's voice.
Yeah.
I think that's what they were worried about. You roll open, you give Lorraine Schneider a chance to make the hit and roll underneath, and now it's a lot of rocks you got to deal with to get into shot rock position.
Maybe down, actually.
Ashley Williamson's going to make the attempt.
Whoa.
Tight by the front one.
Too close.
But even getting that tight, she, I guess, didn't have room to get underneath.
Good job.
No, it sounded like there wasn't much space between those two rocks. So, and that would have been just a brutal little feather tick.
There you see the time clocks.
So looking once again to try to come down. This time definitely they're looking to move the Yellowstone. It was just delivered, but looking for some curl here. Wants to get very close to the nose if they could.
It's getting there.
Same.
Yellow on to yellow to the back 12, but now the shooter's a little farther off that center line, and there's probably room to get to the inside, roll underneath, and
definitely room.
A little more. Soft.
it's almost hard to look down there and realize which team's trying to steal, because it's actually the Schneider team with last rock. But if they make the good roll here,
like that,
Nancy Martin's going to have to deal with the rocks on the middle.
Just about couldn't have walked those rocks back or put them in place like that, because especially with that other high one too.
Back 8.
As good as it looks for Schneider, I'd be a little nervous with all those rocks in play right around center.
Well,
if they can get that top 8-foot one bumped over a little bit and start to open things up.
She may not have a lot of options for her last one, but you know, right now she might not have time to throw her last one anyway. So maybe better if you just seal it up before that.
Curl, Jen! Curl, Jen! Hard, Jen! Hard! 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 Hard!
Looking to move this yellow and maybe set up a pocket.
Oh, that's a nice shot.
Off
Like
of to
that.
get it shot rock.
You like just coming here?
You know, she did a nice job to move that rock, but really one of the two of them needed to stay higher. She still doesn't really have anything that she can come off of to get at shot rock. It's one of those cases where they had to sweep so hard to get the curl to make sure she got a piece of it, but now both rocks end up a little deep.
And by a little, just a few inches,
Yeah,
really.
it's, you know, it
Either
looks
one.
like a good result, but you know, is it? Because you still don't have a way to get at shot rock.
Okay, whoa. Whoa, it's really curling. She's soft on that? Okay.
Well, you've got the same shot now to move it again.
You sure do.
I think
Just
so,
like that.
yeah.
It was just about you had to stay on the sweep on that and hope you couldn't bump that one center guard up even just an inch to cut this line down a bit.
Whoa! Okay. Whoa! Whoa, Steph! Yes! Yes! Straight!
Saw a little bit of confusion there. It's one of those situations where they're so used to sweeping for curl. When Nancy Martin called them on, I don't think they knew which one of them was supposed to sweep.
You're right. Yeah, there's definitely hesitation there.
Back line.
They got a little better movement on that one and a little bit less weight, so she got some finish. She actually keeps her shooter in the forefoot area, and there's a good look at it. Maybe just a sliver under the guard, and if Lorraine Schneider's on the outside of this stone at all, she could jam it on the one at the back forefoot and leave it for shot. Buried.
Callan! Callan!
And they're sweeping for curl early. That's... You do not want to hit this on the outside at all.
Hard!
Catches the outside.
Okay, that's good.
Got just enough curl to spin it over. Now it is the Schneider stone, I think, at the side of the forefoot sitting shot rock, but that stone at the back is second. And now there's enough of an opening that you could try to draw to the top button behind all kinds of cover.
Except...
There are rocks to come off of.
Right.
So Nancy was wondering, should we play it as a hit? They've called their timeout. This will be the last timeout.
What if we just play like a back line?
We are
Hear what Coach Jerry Adam has to say.
Well, unless he stands beside somebody with a mic, we're not going to hear what he has to say.
I think this is how she gets us at the end. So I think even if I end up here, it's not the worst. I just don't, I don't want to do that. I was just thinking if I just throw like back line. If I throw a 10, like right here, you guys, because it's pretty straight. Do you like a 10 right here though? Do you like back to that bumper? Yeah, okay. So just here then. We can be 3/4 low, right? Even just to roll to here. 70. Yeah.
So there you heard the discussion. Not even really worried about getting shot here. Again, shot rock, that rock at the edge of the forefoot is open. She can always come off that with her last one. She's still got the draw available. The key here, as far as Nancy Martin is concerned, is that this yellow stone is the rock that Lorraine Schneider can use to get at shot rock no matter where you put it. So you try to deal with this one now.
Right.
Leave it in a spot where you could use it if she does come around the other side.
Yeah. Okay, line's good. Whoa, whoa. Close. Whoa. Yes! Whoa! Whoa! Hard! Hard! Hard!
Really going to have to go to hold the line. She wanted to hit this close to the nose. She's going to be a little bit on the inside. And boy, they were worried that they couldn't make that and not rub the other red. They get it underneath it.
But they did.
And spins enough that she's shot rock, too.
Which was good that she threw the weight she did, because she was actually thinking of throwing it a little quieter.
Okay. Call bud. Great throw.
Yeah, nicely done.
Yeah. First shot. 11. Great weight. Really beauty throw. Thanks. It's back line.
Not a lot there.
Not a lot of room to clear anything past back yellows.
No, I like the first call.
Yeah, I think you want to deal with shot rock here. You can always come off that redstone with your last one, or perhaps your shooter if you make the hit and roll over here.
Close. Close! Yeah! Whoa! Callan! Straight! Straight!
Makes the hit. The shooter comes across and actually spins over the top of that redstone. Well, decision time now for Nancy Martin.
Yeah, you could tell Larissa was screaming. She's trying to keep that shooter to stay for second against that.
They were almost causing themselves more problems with that.
I don't have a ton of time at all.
Quick look over at the final stone here.
Penny Barker trying the long running double for 2 and just misses it. So only 1 point and 8-7 victory for Ashley Howard to move into the A semifinal.
The issue that Larissa Murray was having, she called for them to curl at one point in time, then immediately called for them to straight, and then it's just yes. Well, now after that,
which sweeper?
Which sweeper, and they got caught again. But it's one of the issues that comes up nowadays when you're trying to directional sweep, and especially when you're going back and forth like that. And now it's when you get a little bit frantic, the sweepers are caught in no man's land. Nancy Martin electing to play the hit on shot stone. And I thought she might here. This is one where if you can make the hit and roll under, you're shot the top of the button.
Okay.
Got just a piece to the inside of the guard. Oh, good piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, hang in there. Sorry, bud.
The proverbial draw to the button for the win.
No one could first wear 40? Yeah. Oh, man.
You know, you could have played the straight draw to try to get there. The problem is that shot was going to be there for Larissa Murray. It was hard to take away the button. So by doing what she did, she has left Larissa Murray about 4 inches of real estate here.
Oh, maybe 5.
Well, I don't think she can curl far enough to get to that extra inch on the other side of the center line. It's probably there, but I don't know if she can get to that line. For Larissa Murray, it'll be try to throw it to the tee line, and then the sweepers
do what they need to do.
Do it their job.
Line's nice.
This might be curling a little earlier than what they had in mind. And in the sheets we've seen so far today, once they start to curl, the weight comes off as well.
A little light.
Hard.
And it will come up a little bit short. It actually should go into the books, I believe, as it was a steal of 3. Regardless, Nancy Martin will pick up the victory here after trailing for much of this game, trailing by as much as 7-0 early in the game. Picks up the win, and she is the only one of the top 4 seeds to advance into the semifinals. The semifinals in the event will play tonight. We will have all of the action for you for this entire event right here on curlsask.ca. The evening draws will be available on SaskTel Max as well. We've got a bit of a break now as the curlers go for the luncheon. We will have the next draw for you at 3 o'clock this afternoon. And then we want everybody to make sure they join us at 7:30 tonight. We'll have A semifinals. The recap of the games this morning. Howard over Barker 8-7. It was Silvernagel 9-4 over Ackerman. The game that started as our feature, Sherry Anderson 10-3 winners over Amber Holland. And you just saw the last game to finish, Nancy Martin, an 11-9 win over Lorraine Schneider. Thanks for everyone for joining us, and we will be back on the air at 3 o'clock this afternoon.